Hey guys, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Well, welcome to Odyssey, RimWorld Odyssey. I'm so excited. Kate, nobody is more excited than me. Crimson Poxitive, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's get things going around here. I am so excited for this. I don't know why. Spike Little Girl, welcome, welcome. I'm unnaturally excited for this. I'm not really sure what my issue is, but I'm more excited for this than I've been for other DLCs. Buzzkill, welcome. Yes, the Geniusosity, hashtag Geniusosity, will be beginning almost immediately. Yes, we're going to chit-chat for a second, then we're going to dive right in, but don't worry. There'll be heaping helpings of Geniusosity, hashtag Geniusosity. I feel I'm going to need it. I think this will be more challenging than Anomaly was, and we know what happened with Anomaly. Well, we know what happened with Anomaly. I beat it because of Geniusosity, hashtag Geniusosity. So I fired this up and I poked through it just to see what the initial setup was. And it's pretty straightforward right up until you get to the map, and then everything goes a little kablooey. But the initial parts of this are going to be pretty straightforward. So we're just going to dive right into a new colony. We've obviously got a new scenario here, the Grav ship, which again is marked as a difficult scenario and not recommended for new players. Good news, RimWorld. I'm a genius. Lisa, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm hoping this is going to be fun. I am, obviously, we're starting very early today. We're starting at noon. I actually could have started earlier. I didn't realize RimWorld Odyssey was going to come out this early. But noon is pretty good enough for me. And we'll go as long as I feel I'm capable of going. I traditionally do like about 90 minutes for a live stream. We will go as long as we can. Cassiopeia, welcome, welcome, welcome. So can you get the origin story of Geniusosity? Yes, I'll give you the short version. I'm a genius. Now I'll give you the medium-sized version. During Anomaly, I created the infinite zombie generator, aka the Dave Box, hashtag trademark copyright the Dave Box. An infinite zombie generator. I won't go into the details, but it infinitely generated zombies. And I realized at that point that I had actually, not only was I a genius, but I had smashed through genius. I had popped the soap bubble of genius into the realms of Geniusosity, hashtag Geniusosity. That's the medium-sized story. Qualael, Stephen, welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so back to Odyssey here. We'll leave my genius aside until it comes up. So, difficult scenario. We're going to get 3 people. Great, because that's what I actually made the thumbnail for future use of. We're going to get basic gravtech, so we've got some new research. I kind of expected that. I kind of expected we're going to have some new stuff to research. We've already got biofuel refining, which is good. And we're landing with some chem fuel, some wood, packaged meals, medicine components, auto pistol and machine pistol, so no rifles or anything, a breach axe, and some steel. Now, the big news up here is the mechs are going to be hunting us all the time. As your crew begins to salvage the equipment, you realize this isn't an ancient human tech, it's a mechanoid beacon. The relay crackles to life and broadcasts its war alert to a distant mech hive. They're hunting us now, and they'll find us wherever we go. Bella, welcome, welcome, welcome. So we're going to be apparently constantly hunted by mechs. Good news, RimWorld. I'm a genius. I'll learn to cope with that. Hashtag Geniusosity. So yeah, we're definitely doing the new scenario, the Grav ship here, of course. And then we're going to do normal. So we'll go with adventure. And obviously reload anytime. Why? Because we don't lose colonists to dice roll. Vander, welcome, welcome, welcome. Is it Wandler or Vandler? I'm going to go with Vandler. So we'll keep it on normal mode. We'll keep it on reload anytime. Anomaly, we're going to dial down. I'm not going to eliminate Anomaly because I want to have all the DLC in here because, it's a good expression of Geniusosity. I want to have some of the Anomaly in here, but not all of the Anomaly in here. And we're going to do the same thing with Ideology when we get through to that. So normal mode, adventure mode, reload anytime, a little bit of Anomaly, but not a lot of Anomaly. World, I don't care. That's fine. You do your thing. Just that's totally cool. And then I think we're going to the ideology bit of this. Rob, my vent guy's here. Thank God. I bet vents are going to be wicked important on a spaceship. I'm going to tell you right now, Rob, you're in the right place. We're going to need a vent guy around here because I bet vents are a big thing in a spaceship. I mean, that just kind of goes without saying, right? Okay, so I could do inactive. I don't want no ideology. I just don't want all the ideology. I just like to have, let's just go with the classic. Okay, just classic RimWorld ideology. We're not going to go too nuts with this. Obviously we're here to focus on Odyssey because I am super excited for this for reasons I don't adequately explain. I can't adequately explain to myself. I don't know why I'm so excited for this. I just think this is going to be wicked cool and wicked challenging. I know you're like, Dave, you don't like challenging things. Like, nah, kind of with RimWorld I do. So, now we got to get into these people. I don't know what skills are going to be important. I'm going to take a stab in the dark that construction and crafting are probably going to be really high on the menu. Like, if you're building a spaceship, I got to figure construction and crafting will be super, super high. But right out of the gate, I don't actually hate Bertha here, because she has a broad range of skills, and she's very, very young, and she's good at shooting. She's a slow learner, but she's got a doctor skill. We're gonna hold on to Bertha. We're gonna take her resume and keep it on our desk. Catonius, welcome, welcome, welcome. Wait, there's a space ideology? Oh, too late now. Never mind. We won't worry about the space ideology. Layla, obviously, as a nurse, you're very good at medical, but you don't do any shooting. And we're going to be hunted by mechs, so I'm gonna go with a loose no. Who's Kendra when she's at home? Okay, you can punch things. In fact, you love punching things. You only want to punch things. Martin, welcome, welcome, welcome. Research for piloting. Research for piloting. So I don't know what that would fall under, Bella. Would that be a crafting skill? An intellectual skill, maybe? I don't know. Somebody will be able to pilot a ship. Bella, how hard can it be to pilot a spaceship? It can't possibly be that hard. I'm kind of digging Bertha. I'm not feeling it on Layla or Kendra. Who's down here? Cass, Young, some skills. What am I missing with Bertha? Let's deal with the obvious here. I need construction up, and I need crafting up. I need somebody to do construction, somebody to do crafting, and Poxitive is saying that intelligence would be the one maybe for piloting. I would need that anyway, one way or the other, to our for our research. So I'm not feeling Layla and Kendra. Let me just kind of buzz down the list here. No violence from you. That's not going to fly. Roxy, you are... Wow, you've got a lot of issues, and I don't want to talk to you anymore. You've got an intellectual skill, but not much else. Although you are, again, very young. Very young, so that would play pretty well. But everyone seems to be saying go high on intellect. I see the validity of that. I see where you're going with that. So let's see what we can get. Well, there's an intellectual of 10. You've been shot in the leg, which is not ideal. You're, on the middle age side. You're a pyromaniac. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here. Not really, not out on a tree. We've got a tree outside our house. I'm not going to go climb on it because that would take time away from the stream, and you guys don't want that. But I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to take a shot in the dark. I'm going to mix my metaphors. I'm going to take a shot on a limb and say that pyromaniac inside an enclosed spaceship, not good. Not good. So we're going to pass on you, Sarah. Boy, Bertha's looking great right now. Jack, plants, sure. Spaceship, so we're probably going to want to do a lot of hydroponics. You're a wimpy, ugly, jealous guy. No. I need construction. Bertha, what was your cooking? Oh, terrible. Okay, I need cooking up. Yeah, none of these people are thrilling me. So now we get to the part of the program, kids, where I sit here and I hit randomize until something catches my eye, as the kids say. Something catches my eye. Yes, I'm very... Bella, nobody is more excited to improve the sentience of cats more than me. No, seriously. If you said that's an option in the real world, I would drop everything I'm doing and go into, cat scienceology or something. Sarincha, welcome, welcome. Nobody is more interested in enhancing the sentience of my cat than me, for two reasons. One, I could probably talk to him like a human being and say, hey, could you maybe not bug me at 2 o'clock in the morning? Maybe you could not be in my bed at 2 o'clock in the morning poking me with your claws because you want your head rubbed. And my cat would say, yeah, but I really, really wanted my head rubbed. I know it was late, but I super wanted my head rubbed, and you do head rubs the best. So here I am. Yuto. Okay. Construction of 6. Good. Intellectual of 8. You can't do dumb labor. I can work around that. I can work around that one. I'm kind of feeling stench here. And it's a fantastic name. I'm not even sure I can say that for a full run of this. But Bertha and Stench are definitely resumes I'm keeping here. I'm not 100% sold on Stench. Stench, you didn't have any health problems, no? Okay, you're pretty and super immune. Those are both traits that I like a lot. I can work around the no dumb labor thing. I can have a plan in place for that because I'm a genius. Hashtag geniusosity. So what am I missing now? I've got 2 doctors. I've got 2 people who can do basic medical stuff. I've got an intellect of 8 with a passion. That's pretty good. That's pretty decent. Do fires burn in the vacuum of space? Buzzkill, who you watching? Okay, who you watching here, Buzzkill? What channel are you on, Buzzkill? Maybe just step away from the monitor and look at the... I don't know where it says my channel. It's down at the bottom under the screen. And you're going to see it says We Hours Games. And you're immediately going to say to yourself, of course something will be on fire. Of course. What was I thinking? Why did I even ask that question? Of course something is going to be on fire. You noticed I didn't pick the pyromaniac, right? Okay? In the cold vacuum of space, in an enclosed spaceship, I didn't take the pyromaniac. So what am I missing now? Crafting. I really don't have a strong crafter here. And plants is covered. Cooking is nominal. I don't have any miners. I need somebody with a mining skill. Now, let me see here. You're 60, Bundy. Fisher, whatever your name is. You have some skills. You've got a crafting skill. You can do some mining. I'm gonna keep Fisher on file and kind of randomize Cass here and see if I can get something better. No, I'd really like to see a high crafting. Now, this is an intellect of 13, but also incapable of dumb labor. Yeah, I can't have two people who don't do any hauling. That's ridiculous. So there's coffee on my desk in a mug, but it's not in my throat. So I need to rectify that as we do. You're exactly right, Spike Low Girl. Fire loves me, and it wants to be near me at all times. No. Next, please. No, not feeling you. Oh, God, you're terrible. You're worse. Okay. No. I gotta figure violence is going to be very, very important. Is there going to be a lot of mining happening inside a spaceship? That's a great question, Rob. And coming from a vent guy, I see your point. You're thinking vents. So you're not necessarily thinking that we're going to land somewhere and may have to do quite a bit of mining. Also, there's a lot of new biomes, and a lot of them are like canyons, and we can tunnel into anything, Rob. We can tunnel into anything. You give me something, I'm going to tunnel into it. So yeah, you're thinking in space. No, not much mining. You're right. But as Poxita points out, we're going to need a lot of steel, I bet. I don't know what it takes to make these, like, whatever, our spaceship panels or whatever. We're going to see those very shortly. And by very shortly, I mean it's going to take me a long time to pick my colonists here, as it does. But we're going to see those fairly shortly, like today. We will definitely see them today. And I don't know what it's going to take to make those, but I bet steel is one of them. Song of the Loot, welcome. Don't take off without me. We're not going anywhere. Now you, Igor, Harry Igor. Oh God, I love you. I love you and I want to have your baby. Harry Igor, I can't not take you. Oh my God, that's wonderful. Great mining. Crafting is nominal. And a good doctor. I'd actually have 3 good doctors and not a shabby cook. Oh, Harry Igor. I can work with you, kid. I can work with you. So, Harry Igor, I'd like you to take the place of Fisher, if you could. Could you go up and, yeah, take Fisher's place? I got Stench and Harry Igor. This is... God, I love this game. All right, let me run the numbers here. You can't do firefighting, and you don't like women, but you love ripping your body parts off. I will cope with you. I will. You got it, kid. Solid doctor, very, very good doctor. Great mining, decent cooking, decent crafting. You got all the right things. You got a couple old gunshots, but you know what? I'll rip your leg off and put a different one there instead. Yeah, Harry does want to be a cyborg. Harry Igor. Buzzkill immediately. I mean, we've been 1 minute into Harry Igor. I don't think we can call him Harry. I think his name has to be Harry Igor. How do you not have Harry without the Igor? So I'm gonna need to put more coffee in my face. Scarissa, you're exactly right, Scarissa. You need more mugs, specifically the Geniusosity mug. #Geniusosity. Okay, let me just run the numbers again here. So, do I have the construction I need? Yes. Okay. Do I have? I've got cooks. I've got people who can cook. I've got 3 doctors. I've got 3 people who can do doctorizing, which is very good. Bertha's not fantastic, but Bertha is very good at the combat, at the shooting, and she loves doing it. I've got my intellect done, so looks like Stench here is going to be pilot. And then Harry occupies a lot of slots. Harry Igor here is doing a lot of good work for me. So I got to go with a yes on this. I got to go with this. This is our crew, Bertha, Stench, and Harry Igor. It's wonderful. It's everything I wanted it to be. This is, I love this game. So what are my team skills? Yeah, my team skills are looking okay. We could be a little better in construction, but I think we'll go with what we got. Hopefully it's not too high of a construction skill to start putting some things together. So start that. Now here's where it gets squirrely. Okay, this is as far as I got last time. So we're not picking a spot on the map yet. So you screwed up. Hey, welcome to the channel, RimWorld. Welcome to the channel. Okay? And now the mech hive wants you dead. It's terrifying murder machines. That's wonderful. I love it when I say neat things in my mouth. Gather the valuable gravlite panels. That's what I was trying to think of. Gravlite panels. Use your grav ship. I'm so excited about Odyssey. Use your grav ship to flee to a safe location on the planet below. I feel in RimWorld, safe should have quotation marks around it, like air quotes safe. To launch the grav ship, select the pilot, and then select the launch command. Okay. And on the world map, then we're going to choose a landing spot. Wherever you go, the mechanoids will eventually find you. We've got to find and defeat the mech hive. So I imagine that is our end game. Find and defeat the mech hive. Got it. Okay, can do. Bertha, Stench, and Harry Igor here. Ready to go. This is so exciting. Okay, slam it into pause mode. Obviously. Obviously. Slam it into pause mode. Bertha, let's just do some basics here. Before we even launch the ship, why don't you have a machine pistol? Where are my other weapons here? I know I landed. I think I see it down there. Stench, what was your shooting, please? You're a 2. Harry Igor is a 4. Okay, Harry Igor has to go in front of you because he's better at guns. And is that? Do I see that down in there? Yeah, the auto pistol. There we go. So at least I got some people armed. And then I guess, Stench, you can have somewhere around here is a breach axe. Now, don't equip wood. That's a dumb idea. There we go. Get that breach axe there. Kate, you're right. It was a remarkably fast colonist choice. It's largely because of Harry Igor. He just spun me off into enchantment. And Stench is not bad either. I don't know how long I can say Stench during the course of this run. Buzzkill, the Dave train never stops. What do you mean take off? It doesn't stop. You're all trapped here with me. I'm just as trapped as you, if that helps. Okay. Now, who did I say? Okay, so I think we're looking at Stench as our pilot, I guess. So if I right-click you, launch the grav ship. Okay, what are my other options here? Launch. Okay, launch is just an option here. Launch is just an option. Fantastic. Michelle, you're saying Captain Stench. I get that. I see that. I see where you're coming from that. I see that. Well, I see the words on the screen right there. But really, I mean, this is just kind of the pilot, right? Like, I'm thinking Star Trek. Like, Sulu was not the captain. He was just like the pilot. He just made the ship go in the right direction. It was Kirk sitting up there going, ramming speed, Mr. Sulu. That's an actual line from an actual Star Trek episode. So yeah, like Sulu was the pilot, but he wasn't in charge of stuff. Like somebody said to him, hey, Sulu, like go over here. And he's like, okay, Captain. And then somebody said like, hey, Sulu, now go back the other way. And he's like, okay, Captain. Also, I'm going to have a sword and take my shirt off. That was another episode, a fun one. So, launch. Okay, what do we got here? Grav ship launch. Travel to a remote destination using your grav ship. Unless you build a grav anchor, your current map and anything not on the grav ship substructure will be permanently lost. Got it. Okay, so what we're sitting on, whatever this like little, I guess, satellite or something is, that's gone. Unless we have some sort of anchor to it. Grab the plates around you first. I will make a note of that. Don't worry, we're not going anywhere right now. He says optimistically, about to hit begin. So the current quality, the grav ship won't be able to launch again for 5.5 days. So we're going to be stuck for 5.5 days. 66% chance of having a minor incident. Minor incident. Okay, what's the deal with this panel nonsense that we're talking about here? What is around here? What is this? This is a mechanoid processor. Oh, yeah, we got all sorts of stuff here, don't we? Grab all of that. And, oh, there we go. There's all those panels. Grab all of that. Yep, take that. And the steel, take that. And the silver, take that. Anything up here? Yeah, a little bit more steel. There we go. Okay, so let's just put everybody on hauling 1 right for the moment. So just stop with that nonsense. Hauling 1 immediately. Darn it, yeah, I do have somebody who doesn't do dumb labor. Get things going broadly in that direction. I do like their little spacesuits. Those are fun. Bertha, you going to go out to haul some stuff? Yeah, good job, Bertha. Shouldn't we have all just died because of the, cold vacuum of space? I guess that's what the spacesuits are for. Need recreation variety and beds. Maybe not right now. Stench, what are you doing? You're just wandering around. Okay, while they're gathering stuff, let me just kind of work on some other things here. Firefighting, obviously, be number 1 on all the things you got to be number 1 on there. That, and that. And then who's the best doctor? That would be Harry. So you're going to be number 1. You're going to be number 2. And you can actually do it, Bertha. So you can be number 3. Oh, hang on. Quick thought. Before I go, because I always forget to do this, put all 3 of these guys. Hang on, there's incoming mechanoids. Slam it into pause mode. Everybody can be on self 10 because apparently you're going to need it. So I got 11 hours to get out of here. Okay. How long is it going to take you guys to move all this stuff? Also, that can be allowed, and that can be allowed. 11 hours, and we're getting raided. Neat. Let me finish the things that I'm finishing here with the finishing. So we're not going to worry about wardening and childcare right now, but we'll put Bertha at number 1, and you can do it too. Handling, we're not going to worry about animals right at the moment, although I'm very excited to see the new animals. Very, very excited to see the new animals. Coffee in my face. Okay, so cooking, let's see, yeah, you could be number 1, you could be number 3 on that, and you don't bother at all. You 2 have guns, so not you 2 the band. I'm not saying, like, Bono and the Edge armed themselves. That didn't sound right. You 2 have guns. I mean, they might. I don't know. Maybe they're firearms owners. I don't know. It's a perfectly normal thing for people to do. But that was not my implication. That's not what you should infer from that Bono and the Edge have heavily armed themselves and are coming to a town near you. I mean, you 2, in that the 2 of you up here have guns. You're terrible at construction, but we all do construction. Everybody does construction. You can be it too. Everybody does growing, and you can do that. Everybody does mining, even if you're terrible at it, and you can be focused in that. And everybody does plant cutting. All right, we're not going to worry about crafting until I get some sort of production facilities. That's not really important right now. Really, it's just the hauling. We just got to move this stuff. Move this stuff. So could we maybe... I can probably find steel. So why don't we... Okay, you're going right for the Gravlite panel. Stench, if you could... What do you mean you're wandering? Are you the one who doesn't pick stuff up? You never do hauling. Okay, Harry Igor... focus on Gravlite, and Bertha, focus on Gravlite. All right, let's just really prioritize getting those in. I've got 11 hours to get out of here. And then it's minus 103 degrees outside. It's a little chilly. I like being over the planet. That's fun. Oh, you can even still see the hexes. That's cool. And there's other, like, stuff out here as well. This is neat. I'm so excited for this. I hope you guys are too. I think this is going to be... I think this might beat Anomaly in terms of, like, how much fun we have with this. So where are you guys going to put it? You're putting it up there. Should I maybe designate a zone for, like, stuff? Because we're probably going to run out of space. Yeah, I'm just going to... I don't know if I need to do this. There might be plenty of space on the shelves. But I'm just going to do a stockpile zone here, specifically just for steel and those Gravlite panels, because that's really what we're pulling out of here. So those are apparently a raw resource, and steel. And you know what? Silver can sit there too. So just those things can live there if they need to. How we doing, guys? Because it's like 9 hours till the mechs show up. I'm just saying, guys. It's like 9 hours. So Bertha, if you want to put maybe a little hustle on, maybe move it a little bit. Harry Igor, can you go get those panels? Apparently we're going to need a lot of these. So let's hustle here. Stench, you're completely useless to me right now. It's a good thing you're better at other things. Well, I guess I'll just put more coffee in my face until we're done with this. And then we are out of here. I'm going to try and take it right down to the wire and get all the stuff we have, but obviously definitely prioritizing the Gravlite. I can get steel from somewhere else. I can find steel. Steel can exist. Maybe actually prioritizing the silver too, because we don't have a lot of... Well, we have no money. That's, in fact, our only money right now. Harry Igor is hauling as fast as his hairy body can possibly haul things. He's slowed down by the hair. You see, Song of the Loot. It's the hair. He's an incredibly hairy Igor. Like, he was so hairy that his parents named him Harry. How hairy do you have to be as a baby? How much of a Sasquatch do you have to be as a child for your parents to say, I think we should name him Harry? So I got to imagine that all of that hair is like you know how swimmers just basically take all the hair off their body so they're faster in the water? I got to figure Harry Igor is the opposite. He is so hairy that it's like a drag when he's walking. It's just slowing him down. The resistance, the friction, is just slowing everything down on Harry Igor. He's the exact opposite of like an Olympic swimmer, who are basically completely hairless. So you know that's why he's moving so slow. I mean, give the guy a break. He's incredibly hairy. He's just ridiculously hairy. Not just born with a beard, Vandler. Born with literally all hair, like everything. Just a big shaggy Sasquatch. Just a Yeti. Okay, a very, very tiny one, because, you know, he's a baby and all that. But that's what's slowing him down. He's just moving very, very slowly. Yes, he's exactly like Cousin It, except as a baby. 6 hours, guys. 6 hours. All right, I think we've got almost all of the grab light panels. We're just kind of hustling on some steel right now. Bertha, what you doing? You're hauling steel. Could you just grab those last grab light panels first? And then you can get all the steel. I think we got this. I think one more run and we'll have... Was there anything up here? There's a little bit of steel up here. But if we get out without the steel, I'll work with that. I will learn to cope with that. Mechanoid relay. None of this I can actually deconstruct, right? Attacking it. Yeah, I don't think we'll take the time. We'll attack things later. Attacking will come up, I'm sure. So, wow, you can put a lot of those grab light panels on that shelf. Haven't needed the extra storage. I'm sure RimWorld probably built that in. Like, you have the room to store all of this stuff. And then Harry, I think, is going up for the last bits of steel. And I think we'll be good. Like, one more decent run here. I'm even going to optimistically speed it up a little bit. Yep, there's that steel. So we got, like, almost 100 steel left on the map, but we've got another 4 hours. I think we're going to be in good shape. I think we got this all day. Again, I'm sure this was built into the scenario that you actually have enough time to do this, even with only 2 people hauling. Bertha, terrible time. Cloud watching? Whoa, Bertha. What do you mean cloud watching? Up is completely black, empty space. You want to peer over the edge if you want to do some cloud watching, Bertha. There are no clouds up there, Bertha. That is the cold, heartless void of space. There are no clouds there. You want to look over the edge. But, like, don't, because you'll probably fall off and stuff. Actually, Bertha, what I really need is you hauling that steel. We'll go land somewhere, and you can look at clouds all day from the other perspective. Harry Igor, you just going maybe... Yeah, you're not cloud watching, kid. Go get the steel. Because then we're out of here. We're out after this. We're gone. So, yep, there's the last bit of steel coming in. I assume I should do something reasonably intelligent, like put all the people inside before we go anywhere. So could you just stand there? And you stand there, and then Stench, could you come up here, please? I gotta figure if I launch this thing, they're not gonna be smart enough to go, oh, the ship is launching, let me get in the ship. No, they're just gonna stand there and go, hey, dude, bye. Why are you leaving? I'm stuck on this satellite, and there's a bunch of mechs coming, and I've only got a pointy axe. So, Stench, actually go to this. Launch. Okay. So we've got, I'm just going to check the map one last time. Make sure we got everything. Yeah, everything's looking pretty good. This is just stuff I could theoretically Mechanoid slag chunk. Yeah, we can live without that. You just don't even sweat that. Make an inside zone. Yeah, that probably would be easier. But I think we're good. I think we just launch. So launch. All right, so one more time. We won't be able to go anywhere for 5.5 days. And there's a very, very high chance of an incident happening. An incident. So Stench is indeed the pilot. Co-pilot is Harry. So your piloting ability is 80%. Stench, what was your intellect again? How does that break down? 80%. Okay, so 10% per intellect point. Neat. So if I got a 10, I've got a perfect pilot. 10 seems to be the max in RimWorld to do anything at all. If you got 10, you can do whatever you need to do in that area. So you've got 80%, and then Harry has whatever, 20%. So co-pilot Harry, pilot Stench, and then Bertha's just along for the ride, I guess. Quite literally along for the ride. You're the crew. Okay. Okay, so we're off. I probably have to, like, undraft you guys, right? Bertha's participant. Oh, you're just going to do it. Okay, yeah, you're out. Your current map, as well as anything on the grav ship substructure, will be permanently lost. Yeah, so we don't ever get to come back here. It's gone. All right, more coffee. Look at this. We got through colonist choice and launching the ship in under 30 minutes. We're doing good today. Yes, I want to launch. Oh my goodness, now what? Okay, well, we've got a big old planet. I suppose could I technically go to this thing? Oh, it costs chem fuel. It's beyond my maximum range. Oh. So I gotta stay here. Alright, how do we go? Oh, I just zoomed in. Hang on. Go back out again. I liked it when we were out. Okay, now go back in again, but more slowly. Alright. Let's look at the thing. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. So there's a real limit as to where I can go in terms of like how much chem fuel I have. So I'm stuck right in here. Can I just kind of want to take a look at the planet for a sec and see if I can like spot any cool biomes or something. The Orange Antelope Basin sounds spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. But let's stick to what we got here. So the only place I can go is in here. Okay. Any royals around here? There's one way over there. What is this? That looks terrifying. That looks absolutely terrifying because it's purple. You know it's no good. You know it's no good. It's purple. Okay, if I click on this, what does it say? It's a lava field. Yep. Yep, it is in fact a lava field. It's a lava field. It's just pure lava. Lava. That's what I'd be plunking myself down in there. Pure lava. What other options do I have here? Arid shrubland. Okay. Mountains and caves. All right. Can we see like what's going on? Year-round growing. Just for having a laugh. What's the growing period in a lava field? Wait, year-round? Really? I mean, apart from where everything is covered in lava. Lethalor, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. You know purple's bad. And I proved my point, Spike Little Girl. Purple equals lava. With apparently a year-round growth rate. Somebody European is going to need to tell me if 801 millimeters is a lot or not very much. Like, for real. Like, seriously, somebody needs to tell me that, because I have no idea what that means. I know a millimeter is very, very, very tiny, but I don't know what that looks like when you make 801 of them in a row. So is that a lot of rain or a little bit of rain? Somebody European is going to... Well, somebody who's basically from any other part of the planet except the U.S. is going to have to tell me that. What do we got going on down here? We've got a desert. Okay. I mean, we can do deserts in vanilla RimWorld. Arid shrubland. Temperate forest. I mean, that's pretty much where we always park ourselves. What's blue? What does this do? Scarlands. Oh. Who wants to go to the Scarlands, kids? 31 inches of rain. That seems like a lot of rain? Is that like a lot of rain in a year? That seems like that's a lot of rain. 31 inches. Yeah, I'm going to say that's not a small amount of rain. Talk to me about Scarlands, okay? Ruins of an ancient city which was destroyed by weapons of mass destruction. Oh, so I've been here before. Got it. Water is toxic, Scaria runs rampant, mechanoids lurk among the shattered buildings, waiting to awaken and kill again. Oh god. I'm dead, right? Like, I'm basically dead if I go there. This is going to be about 6 feet of rain? Wait, 31 inches isn't 6 feet. Is it? No. That's not even 3 feet. 6 feet of rain is a lot of rain. Okay. So, the Dave in me wants to park myself down in the Scarlands or the lava field. The genius in me, hashtag geniusosity, says, why don't you park yourself where you can get food and kind of get to grips with what you're doing, and then move on from there. And good news, I'm a genius. Hashtag geniusosity. So we're probably going to do that. I'll park myself somewhere, air quotes, normal, and we can kind of just get established and kind of get things under control. Hang on, coffee. And then move on from there, obviously to the lava field, or the Scarlands. Is this also lava? I know I can't go there, but yeah, that's also lava. Is there anything else, like, wicked cool that I should be aware of? Like, what's this? A glow forest. I read about those. These sound wicked cool. Geysers spew out massive sulfur clouds that cast the region into permanent darkness. Huge fungal colonies bloom in the dark. Oh, I'm so excited for this. What's the red thing? That's also a lava field, but what's like the red thing on it? That's probably like active lava. It's probably like, literally don't land here. This is active, burny, ouchy lava. Seriously, kid, don't land here. Just don't. You're a moron if you do this. Buzzkill's voting Scarland. Buzzkill, do remember, the point of this is to actually be able to play Odyssey. I really feel with 3 first-time colonists, I land in the Scarlands and we're just all dead. It's going to be anomaly all over again. Royscat's voting for lava. Unfortunately, I feel I'm actually listening to the genius part of Dave, #geniusosity, that says land somewhere broadly normal and get to grips with what you're doing before you... No, welcome, before you actually start dumping your spaceship into actual lava. Actual lava. The new icon on the right, bottom right, is that one of these down here? Expanding icons, settlements belonging to other factions. Got it. What's this one? Icons for landmarks. Okay, toggle that on. Okay, we got landmarks. Actually, I was going to click on that anyway. That's literally what I was going to just click on. What's this? Arid shrubland with what? What is that? Kind of want to know. Like, what is the land? I see it's a landmark. I get that. But what is it? Oh, there it is. It's right there. It's a village. Oh, it's like somebody else. What's this one? A cave network. This is so cool. What is this one? That is the Purple Narwhal Mines, which apparently has quite a lot of uranium. Interesting. Purple Narwhal Mines is an option. Roy Scott just votes for chaos. That's fair. The Yakil Wall. Oh, neat. And there's a gazelle habitat. Oh, this is so fun. So colonists we were able to get through really quickly, but picking a spot on a map is apparently taking me forever. This, I can't even begin with that. There's some sort of fracture. There's a chasm here. That doesn't sound very fun. Let's not do that. Everybody likes uranium positive. It's a meme. So mountains, caves, an abandoned colony. Now that might be something where we can just kind of move right in. We've already got a ship, yes, Mo. So we've chosen our colonists in what I can only describe as remarkably rapid time. So we've got 3 generally okay colonists. And we're being hunted, by the way. So the point of this scenario is we're being hunted by mechanoids. And they're going to follow us wherever we go until they murder us in our face. And we're leaving. We're out. We're like, let's not be where the mechanoids are. But they will keep hunting us. So wherever we go, I mean, that's kind of the whole point of this, is wherever we go, we're going to leave later. And now, again, colonist choice went down super quick. The whole where to land thing is not panning out as well. I think I got to go with this abandoned colony. That sounds really cool. There might be some good stuff in it, like, colonist stuff. I think we're going with that. I think we're going right there. So if I say next, what happens? Oh, we're out. We're out. Yeah, we're out of here. Okay. Hopefully I picked the right spot. Hopefully that was the thing. Yes, Mo, we did start with the new scenario. We've kind of, unfortunately, not abandoned Chibi, but we put her to the save file graveyard that we may or may not come back to at some point. Oh, I can pick my landing zone. Neat. All right, so what do we got? There's the abandoned colony up there. Oh, they have fun floors. Why would you abandon those floors? What are these floors? They must be like an ideology floor or something. They've got cool chairs. I want cool chairs. Can I spot... Okay, I'm certainly seeing some good growing area over there. We got a bit of a desert over here. That's less than good. Got some stuff we could demolish down here. I'm actually looking for any animals. Maybe they're not going to spawn until I actually land. Oh, no, they're right here. What's that? There's the gazelle habitat. I've got a gigantic mountain I could carve into. I mean, these guys got started, but they don't have the aspirations that I do. I mean, I see where you're going with this, guys. You were trying to carve into a mountain, and Actually, there's a door up there. For all I know, there could be better stuff up there. But what I do see is there's at least somewhere we could immediately set up shop. But then how am I going to get power into there? Okay, yes, I know. Incoming mechanoids. Life is terrible. Stop waving at me. This is... I love the colony, but dang, there's not a lot else going on here, is there? What are those, boomalopes? Okay. I hope we see some new animals on this map. What are those? Nope, those are bugs. No, we don't want to see those at all. No, we don't like bugs. Okay, so don't go down there. First things first. Don't go down there. Yeah, I think we'll just kind of land up here and see how it goes. So I can't go... Yeah, that's the edge of the map. I can't go there. Maybe... No, don't go there. That's where you're going to want to grow things, kid. And I'd like some room to expand the ship. So I want to see how we build ships. So let's make sure we have room to do a little bit of light expansion. And we're landing. Okay, here we come. Zoom, zoom, zoom. We're coming in. And we're here. So we can't go anywhere for 5.5 days. That's fair. Now my first thought... hold on, guys. Just slam it into pause mode. My first thought is, do I want to haul everything out of here and go put it over here? Probably not. We're probably not going to be here that long. First thing we're going to have to figure out is food, obviously. We may have escaped them. I don't know. We may have dodged them a little bit. What kind of tree is this? A Drago tree. Huh. Kind of neat. Bresme, welcome, welcome. Bresme, let me get you back up to speed. 1, I'm a genius. Hashtag geniusosity. That's the short version. The medium-sized version is we've got our colonists. We've got our initial sort of shuttle here. We're being chased by mechanoids. Everything is terrible. And we have no food. But we found an abandoned colony. So we had a small area we could land in. And rather than going to land in the middle of a volcano, which was most people's idea... the majority of chat said volcano. Land literally in lava. Like, actually put your spaceship in lava, because that's the sort of thing we expect from you. Or landing in the Scarlands, where everything is terrible and everyone has horrible diseases. Or landing in a mushroom forest, which is dark and has mushrooms. And we've decided to land here. In what is described as an abandoned colony. So, somebody used to live here, and they had very cool chairs. I want to point those out immediately. They had very, very cool chairs. So do I... Okay, let's do this. Let's do... What is that? Oh, agave. Oh, I almost never find a map with agave. Huh. Oh, that could be some food right there. Yeah, we could harvest some of that. Let's kind of put some things together here. Can I do anything with the cactus? No, that'll just get me wood. Crimson did say the purple mines. It was actually the purple narwhal mines, which is even better. There's a lack of wood, and that's what she said. So, how do I want to start here? Food. Okay, if we don't eat, we're not doing anything at all. What do I know? Actually, that's an interesting concept. What do I know? Okay, I know the normal things. Electricity, air conditioning, biofuel, refining that we get with the scenario. I do know nutrient paste. I don't know if I usually start with that. Basic grav tech, and that will lead to... What does that give me? Exactly. What does that give me? So we had to inspect a grav engine to get that. It unlocks a grav anchor, a field extender. What does that do? Ultra tech device used to increase the size of a grav ship. Okay. We're going to need... Because when I was looking at the grav ship, we've got like 84 out of 500. So I can put a little bit more on the ship that I've got right now. And then a grav ship hull. Okay, that's pretty self-explanatory. Pilot console, chem fuel tank, thruster. What would standard grav tech get me? A large tank and a large thruster. Okay, and then I assume there's like ultra stuff up here. Neat, good, okay. So advanced grav tech, probably bigger things. Oh, I can't actually make grav light panels until then. And that requires vaxstone blocks, which I can get from orbital asteroids. Dang, all right, well, that's going to be a ways down. Yeah, there is fishing in here somewhere. I landed in a desert, so I think the amount of fish we're going to be able to actually acquire is pretty limited in the fact that there's absolutely no water here. But apart from that, your idea of fishing is strong. You know, you're looking at this and going, Dave, start fishing. And I'm saying that is a fantastic idea. Fishing would be great. Fish are, relatively easy to acquire. in the grand scheme of things. However, there is not a drop of water on this map. So I'm no fishologist. I'm no fish expert. But I am confident that fish do need to, or at least will be commonly found in water. Fail asleep. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, let me sip coffee. Hang on. And let's get this party started. So, yes, it's Odyssey. Yes, we're very excited, but it's still RimWorld at the end of the day. We're going to need food. We got kind of shelter covered, but I'm going to start by kind of hanging out by the ship a little bit. I'm going to put up a butcher spot and a campfire. So put those up, and then we can conquer some basic food at that point. And actually, this zone can now just hold everything. Just put anything you want in there, except nothing rotten, please. Yeah, just put anything you want in there. That'll just be a catch-all place. All right. And then, what is on the map? Wow, not a lot. Got some ostriches. That's fun. They will 100% attack you. We got an iguana. We can get DD2. There is an iguana down there. Emus will 100% attack you. How about we just go for the things that don't? So gazelle. And then let me set up some things here. So, again, it's Odyssey, but it's also still RimWorld. So we need to do our basics here. And then they haven't even built that yet. We do have a little bit of wood. Make sure everyone is on construction. Yeah, Stench is primarily at that. Okay. Off we vaguely kind of go. Harry, are you refueling things? I think you were refueling the tank there. That's neat. And now Berth is off to go shoot a gazelle. Fantastic. All right. Oh, what is that? Is that silver? Oh, it's plasteel. Start mining that. I bet that's going to come in handy. And start mining this steel. So up here, Harry and Stench, what are you doing right now? You're cleaning rubble? Oh, hang on. Just not everyone needs to be on number 1 hauling. Maybe like 2 on hauling. And they're jumping right into that. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for that. Big birds are mean. You're right. That cat on Sesame Street was just he'd wreck people if you gave him half a chance. I think I'm going to send Berth is off doing the hunting, right? And who is my number 1 cook? Harry. Okay, less good. Because I would like to send 2 people in here to start scouting this place out. I think we'll just go ahead and do that anyway. Let's go. Do I have to claim all of this? I probably do. So let's claim everything in there. All right, all of that belongs to me right now. And then Harry. Bertha, how's the thing going? How's the hunting of the gazelle going? Are you having fun with that? Wow, there's a lot of gazelle. Harry and Stench, all right? I'm going to draft you guys and bring you up here. We're just going to have a little nose around. We're going to poke around this abandoned colony and see what's up and basically make it ours. All right, you guys, yeah, you guys are on the way. And, ooh, also, not that there's anyone to do it right at this exact second, but let's get more food going. We've got a nice little area here. So, I don't know, rice. You know, it'll just come up real quick. So, rice there, please. No one's doing that right now. Okay, guys, go poke in here. We're just going to kind of do a little scouting mission. And hopefully nothing is going to eat us in the face. Really kind of counting on that, frankly. Poke in here. I want to see how big this base is. You didn't get very far there. Okay. No more doors over here, so let's go explore this door over here. Stephenton, welcome. What's the plural of gazelle? Gazellesies. Duh. Everybody knows that. Gazellesies. That's also the name of a really nice fruit snack. You don't see it very often. It's mostly a European thing. But gazellesies. All right, so there's a sleeping spot in there. What is that? A mastodon wool ceremonial hood. Oh, I've got to have that. I have to have that. Also, we should probably get more clothes for these guys because they don't need this spacesuit. We're not in space anymore. Okay, a table over here. And we've got like one more door we can check out over here. So we can hang out over here. We can put some bedrooms together over here. So glad I can join the live stream. Work has been a nightmare the past few weeks. Well, hopefully, Stephenton, I can make your your day a little bit brighter by flailing, really, and eating gazellesies, which are very fun. Again, it's a fruit snack. It's mostly European. You won't really find it around here. What's in here? We've got more doors. And, oh, wow, ready-made beds. That's fantastic. Hang on, I'm just going to claim those. And then while I just am looking at it, this could be somebody's bedroom over here. And we'll probably just go ahead and... do I even really need that? Just deconstruct that. And we'll put a door there. I'm just kind of free-forming this. This should be no surprise to anyone. And then... this could also be somebody's bedroom, so this... oh, I've already targeted that one. This could go here. There's 2 bedrooms, and then I can do a third one over there. Fantastic. They do have clothes on, you're right. I'm just thinking more clothes would be better, like an assortment of clothes. Like, I have clothes on right now, Positive. You didn't really need to know that. I'm sure you just probably assumed it. Maybe you didn't. I don't know. It's kind of a weird channel sometimes. But also I have other clothes. So when these clothes, they're kind of not fit for wear, like they should go in the wash or something, I'm going to go ahead and put other clothes on. So I think they could also probably use other clothing. What is this? There's actually some right here. There's a light leather parka. What is that? That's a silver visage mask. Maybe deconstruct that just for the money. And then there's another door over here. I should really get these guys off draft and have them doing literally anything else at this point. That is what we got in here. Nothing. Good. Okay, great. You guys can go off draft. I think that's this place pretty much explored. So good news, nothing actually hazardous in here. Probably going to start moving the beds around. Oh, no, they're just going to bed. Like, we're out. That's, you know what, that's fair. They've had a big day. Harry Igor here is going to hang out in the bedroll. Cool. Did we ever get the, oh, we've got the gazelle. Yeah, the gazelle's done. So we need that chopped up, and then we need to make food out of it. So how about cook simple meals, do it until we have 10 for right now, and then pause when satisfied on that. Thank you so much. Okay, let me just... Gemily, welcome, welcome. Gemily, you actually haven't missed that much. We've kind of just landed. We've escaped the mechs, sort of, except they're going to keep hunting us. And we've chosen this abandoned colony to set foot in first. Even though everybody said lava, basically. Or, hey, Dave, why don't you go to, like, the worst place possible and park your spaceship down there? We'll get there. I just feel, we should start with... what did that say? Pincushion something? What did I just see there? Pincushion something. Oh, the cactus, probably. We need to get established first before we go anywhere. Now, having said all of that, while these guys are having a snooze, can I figure out how to build anything? So there's Odyssey. All right, a grav ship substructure, a hull, and then, the other stuff, the grav anchor and all of that. So what is this? That is the grav ship substructure. This is obviously the hull. Okay. If I wanted to make this bigger, I've got 400 of these things. So how much does it take to do, like, one thing? 4 steel and 1 panel. Okay, so it is going to be heavy on steel. Very heavy on steel to make 4 of those for each gravlite panel, and I've got 400 panels. And then the hull is going to take 7 steel. Yeah, we're going to be needing a lot of steel. Good thing we landed right next to it. That'll be some right there. So I wonder how long we're going to live here. How much do I want to put into this base? I have to have a think about that. Also, we never actually explored that area, but we'll work on that. That's probably nothing much going on in there. There was nothing in the abandoned colony's vault, but it wasn't Geraldo's fault. It kind of was. Boy, that sank his career for a while. All right. So let's just say, for argument's sake, I wanted to make more spaceship. Probably, I don't really want to move the thrusters because that seems like a colossal pain in the neck. So how about... okay, I'm going to optimistically... well, I say I'm optimistically going to start deconstructing parts of the ship. I don't really need to do that. I can build onto what I've got, and this can just be a door into that area. I just want to kind of have a little bit of a play with this. So 84 out of 500, got it. And then Q&E to rotate, that part I get, but I'm under the impression that we can do diagonals. So I'm not married to this, but can I... No? Okay, that doesn't do it. If I said... How do I do a diagonal? No, that doesn't do it. I was pretty sure we can do that. Because they got it. It's right here. Maybe I can do it with the hull? Is that like a thing I'm allowed to do? Why are you not letting me do that, by the way? What do you think? Oh, must be placed on a substructure. Okay, so I got to put the floor down first before I do anything else. Got it. How do I do diagonals? All right. Only things on top of the substructure can be lifted by the grav engine. Floor must be constructed within the range of a grav engine. Uh-huh. So if I go QE again, what does that do? That's a circle. Ah, I see what I'm doing. Okay. Okay, I was looking in the wrong place. I was looking here. I should have been looking over here. Got it. And so what would be my diagonal? Just that one, I guess. Okay, now then, can I then rotate that? So what if I do this? Okay, I kind of see what I'm doing there. I'm going to throw it into pause mode because I might cancel this in a sec. In fact, I definitely will. But if I do it on this side, and then I do it the same thing. Okay, yeah, I can just drag it out. Neat. Cool. I don't want any of that. That's not what I want. So cancel all of that. Thank you. But let's try it better. Badger, welcome, welcome. But let's try it that, but like better. So what I'd like is like a captain's area. Like a captain's, I don't know, like where the captain lives. I don't know where that is. Like the captain's house. Dorm room, bedroom, whatever. Because I'd like us to be able to sleep and eat while we're sort of in space. So I think I am going to deconstruct some of this. That's a terrible idea. I really shouldn't do that. Huh. I'm having to think while I'm playing. Show me a circle. I want to see what that looks like. So if I did that, what does that look like? That just looks like that. Maybe it'll be different when it's done. Okay, don't do that. Don't do any of the things I'm telling you to do. Let's do... Okay, I'm going to be overly optimistic. Deconstruct that bit. And all of this. And all of that. This is a terrible idea. I'm being chased by mechanoids, and my first thought is, let's break the spaceship up. Okay, let's just smash up the spaceship. Okay. Bedroll is no longer assigned to Harry. Oh, because we deconstructed it. Yeah, we do things like that. Build another one. So just build a copy of that. I don't know. There's a bedroom. You can have, I don't know, something. You can live somewhere. Live over here. There you go. Somebody can live over there. This is just temporary. Okay, they're already ripping this apart. So what I'm thinking is instead of this being like the front of the ship, this is going to be kind of more the back of the ship. Show me my Who's McWhat's It again. Yeah, I could go way up here. I'm not going to be able to because I'm going to run into the mountain, but we can make the mountain go away eventually, over time. And by the way, get that out of there, just because I've got plans, and they're not good plans. They're terrible plans. This is a dumb plan. I'm deconstructing my spaceship. You know what? Spaceship, schmaceship, I say. That is something I said. I just said it right now. I'd love to get the chem fuel tanks. Because again, I'm going to use some basic science and think that a gigantic explosion of chem fuel in a sealed environment is not going to be good. You know what I'm going to research faster than I normally do is smoke pop things. Or not the smoke pops, the fire poppers, the fire foam poppers. I bet it would be really, really cool if you could very quickly and easily put out a fire while you're in a spaceship. I bet they plan for that sort of thing at NASA. I bet NASA has fire foam poppers. Because NASA's putting people up into space. I don't know if they do that anymore. I think it's more of a tourist attraction. But they're putting people up into space, ideally. And they're like, if there's a fire, this is basically the worst place for a fire to be. In an enclosed environment in space. So why don't we have a system in place... Adwe, welcome, welcome, welcome. Why don't we have a system in place where if there's a fire in an enclosed environment in space, it stops wicked quick. Mel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Mel, where the heck have you been? You know I can't be left unattended. Welcome to Odyssey. So now that I've deconstructed the only means of escaping the mechs, why don't I build some stuff here? So what I'd like to see, I should be able to build quite a few of these. I got 400 panels, and it only takes one per panel. Deconstruct more stuff. We're gonna tear down tear this entire spaceship down. This entire spaceship is a joke. All right, this is not up to my standards, and we know it's not up to my standards. And we're all familiar with that. Did we make any food? Because I really should be concentrating on actual RimWorld things. Are we into that? Probably. I don't know. That seems like something. I'll have them go hunt another gazelle. You can never have enough gazelles around here. Probably not the ostrich, because that is 100% going to kill me. And I should probably put somebody on #1 growing. Stench, why don't you be on those two? All right, growing and plant cutting. Bertha will handle the gazelle action. There's not a lot of people doing construction. And I bet, yeah, see, Stench is probably going to be my best constructy boy. We'll see. Mel, that's unacceptable. I can't be left unattended. You see the problems here. You see what happens when I'm left unattended. I am given a perfectly good spaceship, and I've started breaking it. I've started deconstructing it. Not recommend, but then again, I'm not a genius. You're actually not the only person I know who worked at NASA, or works or worked at NASA. That's kind of weird. Like, I know more than one person who has worked at or works for NASA. I know you guys really aren't into the spaceship thing anymore. It's largely just for tourists. But, you know, hey, good job with that whole moon landing thing. Way to go. Yay, moon. I'm going to break my whole ship. This is so silly. I shouldn't be allowed to do this. I really shouldn't be allowed to do this. But this is what we're doing. I'm going to smash my ship apart. While I actually just happen to be looking at that, nobody's a night owl, right? Tough, slow learner, misogynist, and pretty and super immune. Okay, nobody is a night owl. I don't need to adjust anyone's schedules. Guys, you gonna get up at any point? It's just that the mechs are coming at some point. And where's like my countdown thing on when we can leave? So, not now, apparently. Maybe on this one? Okay, 4 days. There we go. Okay, 10 chem fuel per tile. Ooh, that's a lot of chem fuel. I should make more of that. I've only got 50 per tile. Well, there goes my idea of building a gigantic spaceship. Right. Well, we can conquer that. We already know chem fuel research. So why don't we put... How do I want this to go down? Let's put a chem fuel generator. Chem fuel, biofuel refinery, whatevs. Here. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. And then we'll just make a ton of chem fuel. And I should probably... Harry, hey, while you're not doing anything vitally important because you're just going for a walk like an idiot, could you go over here and open this door? Thank you. Wow, there's drugs in here. Neat. I'm so glad we opened that door. Good job, Harry. Harry found out why the colony was abandoned. They forgot about it. They were so high, they're just like wandering around going, where do we live, dude? And the other guy's like, I don't know, dude. I am like so not okay right now. And then they just forgot where they lived. Yeah. Oh, per tile traveled. Oh, okay. That's not as bad. We're still going to need a lot of chem fuel, though. Ain't no lie there. Stench is getting the rice fields done very quickly, and I would imagine he was. And then he'll go off and do other things. Harry's working on the plasteel. I just want somebody to come along and kind of deal with my deconstruction nonsense here so I can put other things other places. Can we build a bird of prey with a cloaking device? I was thinking, you know, it's funny you say that, Buzzkill. It's not really funny. It was just sort of an observation. It was just a comment. It wasn't particularly... Oh, no, now our spaceship's going to get wet because I knocked the walls down. It's going to get all rusty and stuff now, isn't it? So, funny you should mention that, except not really funny. Again, just more of an observation more than anything. But I was actually thinking of sort of a wing-like device, yeah. The new DLC gives us pre-built stuff. Yes, so the short version, Mel, is I'm a genius. Hashtag geniusosity. The medium-sized version of it is you are given this... I guess you call it a shuttle more than anything, with a supply of things. As you can see, we've got some things here. Mostly those grav-light panels. That's kind of your key. And apparently, as we're learning right now, lots of steel. So no surprise when you're talking about a DLC that involves spaceships, you're going to need more than your fair share of steel. So we got some of that. And we're being hunted by mechs, but we were given this shuttle. And we could just like bounce right out of there. We're like, no way, mech dudes, we are so out of here. And then the mechs are like, yeah, but we're gonna come and get you like wicked soon. And we're like, yeah, we'll keep moving, dude, because we got like a spaceship. The only problem with that entire scenario that I just gave you there is I've broken my spaceship. Really, I have broken my spaceship. And should the mechs show up now, we are fair game. And they will probably kill us. We had the option, Mel. So the map choice is a little different. So you get your ship first, and then get your stuff, and then pick your map. So you got to pick out where you're going to land. You're not going to be able to go very far, we learned. So you can only go within a certain range. But we did see, well, we didn't see the new biomes. We actually actively avoided them. So we saw a lava field and said, hey, why don't we not land at a lava field? Because it's just our 3 initial colonists. Why don't we go there later when we're better equipped for that? And then we found the Scarlands, and then we found something else, the mushroom fields. But all those things are out there. We could have gone to any of the new biomes. We've made what I feel is, if not the most exciting choice, certainly the smartest choice of actually putting down in a fairly normal area so we can get our fundamentals under control, like food. So that's your catch-up there, if you will. There is a visitor coming. Might have a few items to trade from the... she's named Purple Gnat. Oh, why didn't I get her as a colonist? I suppose I could just arrest her. I won't. That seems mean, frankly. Who's supposed to be on number 1 construction? Stench. Yeah, Harry Igor, you're good at this stuff, but not so much as other things. I kind of need Stench on board there. He should be finished with the rice field. Indeed, Rob, my vent guy, did advise landing in lava. Many people said land in lava. Many people said, hey, it's day 1 on Odyssey, Dave. You've never played this before. Why don't you land literally in the middle of a volcano and see how that goes down for you? Hang on, do I have anyone who can talk to other people? I never do. I never choose colonists that have social. Okay, Bertha's got a 4. Go trade with Purple Gnat, because that's an awesome name. I mean, you're going to have all the normal things. You got packaged survival meals. Well, I have packaged survival meals. Components I have. How many components do I have? 37. Okay, that's pretty good. Wow, that silver visage mask is worth a lot. Unfortunately, you don't have much. I mean, I'd like to trade that, but you can't even afford it. I don't even really care about the herbal medicine because I can probably find some on the map, he says optimistically. Cancel that out. We're fine. We're fine. Yeah, by normal, I mean desert. I did kind of land in a desert. Jabo, welcome, welcome, welcome. Streaming again. I stream every week. But I'm glad you're on your holidays, so you can enjoy it. We did start a little bit early today, and by a little bit, I mean ridiculously early. This 12 o'clock nonsense is for the birds. Okay, this is kind of put together. I'm going to try and do, because we are here to play Odyssey, I'm going to try and do some Odyssey stuff here. So slam it into pause mode. What I'd like first is like somewhere different to put the whole volatile chemical thing. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. I feel maybe, now I got to account for walls too. So do that, and then do, like, maybe I just put them all over here. What are those? Those are 2x2s, right? Okay, so I need 4 tiles and walls. Do that. I just want to see how that all comes together. I don't know what that's going to look like. I mean, I do know what it's going to look like. It's going to look like a rectangle. But I just put all that together and then call me when you're done, is how I want this to go down. So I'm thinking, hey gang, hey kids, hey team, how about we move the volatile chemicals out of the main part of the spaceship? I am no scientist. I am a genius. That's true. Hashtag geniusosity. Oh, right. You need power. Yeah, I forgot about that. We're also going to have to think about either packing things up when we leave or breaking things down so we can get some of the materials back. Because we're using materials here. And I don't want to just fly away from those, right? I mean, that doesn't seem fair. So yeah, get some power in there at some point, and we'll get that hooked up. I want to see what this is going to look like. Now, can I move these? I can eject the fuel. No, I can't. I would actually have to deconstruct them. What does that take? Hang on, go out of all of that. Don't do anything with any of the things I was doing. Chem fuel tank is, oh, it's only 120 steel. Okay. I can work with that. We've found a lot of steel on the map. Everything's kind of going fine in that regard. Right now, anyway. Right now. So I can make steel happen at some point. But I can't apparently move these. What can I move? I can move the pilot console. I can move the grav engine. How about the thrusters? I can move the thrusters. I can be thrusting from anywhere. I can be thrusting from absolutely anywhere. Buzzkill, you ain't wrong. It is absolutely time for Naked Guy with a Knife. No, actually, I take that back. It'll be Inconsequential Animal first. So we've seen Trader. Terrible Trader, but Trader. Next, it'll be Inconsequential Animal. On this map, I'm going to guess it's going to be a rat. And then it will be Naked Guy with a Knife. You are entirely correct. It is coming up on Naked Guy with a Knife time. Everybody loves Naked Guy with a Knife. We really do. Because he's naked and he's got a knife. And you're like, hey, we will shoot you in the face. And he's like, ow! Why would you do that? And we're like, well, you were charging at us completely naked with a knife. I mean, I think anyone would say that's self-defense. Considering solar panels for the ship. Wait, can we do that? Is that... Because I can't... No, because I can't put things on a roof, right? No, that... I could put them outside. Would that work? Huh. That's interesting, Martin. You're taking it in a Stardeus range, because basically RimWorld just said, oh, Stardeus, that's a bit of a competitor. Let's just make Stardeus out of RimWorld. And probably the people at Stardeus are going, oh, come on. I bet you there was a big meeting at Stardeus of all the people who were involved with the development of Stardeus. And they just looked at this and said, oh, come on. That was it. That was their entire meeting. Just they sat around the table, they had coffee and donuts, and they looked at the notes for this and said, oh, come on, RimWorld. Come on. We were building a perfectly good RimWorld in space, and now you just made RimWorld in space. I could take the roof off, or I could just put them outside. I could do, like, the panels, but not put any walls up or something. Like Total Stardust style. That's an interesting thought. But this only... I think this only runs off of chem fuel. I'm not 100% on that. I'm in hour 1 of playing this, but I think that only runs off of chem fuel. But we're going to file that one away, Martin. We're going to file that one in Potential Genius. And we'll kind of see how that breaks down in the realms of Geniusosity. Hashtag Geniusosity. This is vaguely coming together. Where is Stench? Because he's like my #1 constructor. Oh, you're building the generator. Oh, okay, good. Are you done? Did you do the thing up there? Yeah, you broadly did. It has no wood, but I can make wood happen. And then let's get a power line going from A to B. So just that. Again, we're probably not going to be here maybe that long. I don't know. Maybe we're going to be here for years. I have no idea. But I can make some wood happen. We don't really have a lot of options. It's mostly just cactus. That's pretty much it. But let's just make sure people are vaguely chopping trees down and cacti, as the case may be. Yeah, we're gonna file that solar power idea away under maybe. There's zombies. Hang on. Maybe I should have turned anomaly off. Not really sure. Draft everybody and come down here. Yeah, everybody just kind of do your thing here. Bertha, you're kind of on the wrong edge of the map here. So you may, yeah, if we could be shooting some zombies. There's new research. Neat. Cool. I'd rather not die to zombies on day 1. Because that's just, it's not Odyssey. I've died to zombies before. This is not news. Bertha, come down here. Stench, you're going to have to get up close and personal. I'm wicked sorry about this, kid. But if you can go do that. Headshot. Harry, Harry, I think you just shot Stench. All of it's going to make it harder. Positive anomaly, even ideology will make it harder to a degree. But I kind of want all of it in there. So, all right, I'm running out of hot coffee. Good news, there's more downstairs. I may actually have to take a break during this. I know that will come as a shock, but I may actually have to take breaks. I have no idea how long I'm going for. I do actually have real life things that need to get done today, so it's not like I can stream forever. As much as I might enjoy that, I don't live in a YouTube bubble. Okay, Harry, come up here just to reduce the chance of you shooting Stench, if you could. All right, and Stench, why don't you actually focus on this guy? Are you going to die soon? Please say yes. Not really, not as much. I think the idea of space zombies might be awesome. I think the ideas of space zombies just kind of sings to me. Also, space vampires and space cults, frankly. So Harry, I know medical treatment is needed. Yeah, it's Stench. He's getting wicked beaten up. Wicked beaten up. So, how are you doing, kid? You're actually not too bad. You just got some bruises right now. No immediate danger at all. It doesn't even say no immediate danger, so you know it's no immediate danger. Yeah, we're... Okay, Stench, Bertha, I'd love to reduce the chance of shooting a colonist. Maybe you could come, like, more here. More here. No, Mel, not only... Okay, you're here in Stench, you're like, wow, this is a Dave game. Not only do we have Stench, we have Harry Igor. Stench is fine, but I think your attention should be placed entirely on Harry Igor. Okay, Harry Igor is wonderful. Absolutely, and I did not make that up. The game made that one up. Okay, Scarissa, it is awesome so far. You're not wrong. I've broken my spaceship, and there are zombies. So obviously, RimWorld has looked at Odyssey and me, and said we must break him. I think this will be the Rocky IV moment. There's that big Russian guy going, "We must break you. I must break you." That's like the only thing I know about that movie. I'm not even sure I ever saw it. So, but that was in like all the trailers. I must break you. So, good news. I'm a genius. Hashtag geniusosity. And I will prevail. Stench might not make it, but I will prevail here. Okay, I've got that, thank you, and we know about the visitors. Is the new research... Oh, it's draw shamblers. Okay. I mean, who doesn't... Yes, I could have turned anomaly off completely, and ideology, for that matter. But don't we all find the idea of doing dark rituals in space even better than doing dark rituals? Like an entire part of the spaceship devoted to dark magic? Like, come on. Really? That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, tentatively try... Okay, he's down. Harry, Harry Igor, why don't you come up here and shoot this guy? And then Bertha, why don't you stand next to Harry Igor? Again, trying to reduce the chance of shooting Stench. That's the ideal here. Okay, we're shooting a lot of shamblers here. Okay, and that's another one. Stench, how you doing, kid? You're gonna be dead in 15 hours. I can cope with that. I can cope with that. If we could maybe, like, focus on attacking this person, that would be great. So, yeah, there we go. Okay, shooting. I don't know what I'm going to do when I get into the 2 series that are on the channel for this, with Dweeb and the Sanguiphage. Okay, they're all dead. That's good. How about we make Stench's bed just a medical bed? Thank you. And let's get back to the team here. You're all off draft for right now. Stench, you are probably going to bed, but immediately rest until healed. Off you go, kid. I know it's a very long way away. Try not to bleed to death. Mo is curious how the space thing will interact with the other DLCs. So am I. Kate, thank you. Thank you for coming by. Hope we'll see you again. So am I, because I've got 2 series running on the channel, and I don't intend to stop either of them. So we could very easily... Hang on, there's a quest. We could very easily have vampires in space and mechanators in space. I feel Dweeb's going to... it's just a natural for this. But I don't know what the game's going to do. So I haven't recorded any of the series until this came out. And so I have no idea how that's going to play out with the existing series. Am I going to fire that up and then... the game is just going to, like, dump some materials on me where I could potentially make a spaceship, or am I going to have to do something for it? I just want to make sure that somebody gets on the Stench issue. So, yeah, you can do it. No, that is Stench. Bertha, and then Harry was pretty good. Yeah, Harry, you're a really good doctor. You're already tending to him. Great. Good job. Good job. All right, just go deal with that. So, what is Old Mechanator Mech Site? All right, an ancient complex contains a long-dead Mechanator. Oh! So, right, of course, that makes perfect sense. So usually when we start up a map, the Mechanator thing is already there. But now I gotta go find it. Well, that's kind of neat. If mildly annoying, but it makes total sense. What would be the chance that I'd land on the exact map spot? That's just ridiculous. Where is it? It's actually not even that far away. But I don't even need to walk there. I could theoretically, when I put my spaceship back together, fly there. Huh. That makes total sense, of course. You know, when we land on a map, the Mechanator thing is there. So is the anomaly thing. Maybe we'll find a place that has, you know, a monolith on it or something. Harry, what's your problem? What's the deal? Yeah, rotting corpses. We have those. Yep, sure do. Body mod are frustrated. Don't worry, kid. I will work on that for you, Harry. I will do the very best I can. Probably we should just bury these guys just so they get over the rotting corpse nonsense, because it was literally rotting corpses that attacked us. There we go. Talk show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sip some coffee for me. It's getting on the cold side. I will try. Yeah, it's getting on the cold side, talk show. Already thought of this, but since you're not moving supplies into the base, if you put meds into pawns' individual storage, so they always have some in hand. Maybe also drugs. I mean, everyone does love drugs. You're not wrong about that. Yes. Short answer, yes, Emily. Medium-sized answer is I'm not sure how long we're going to be here. What I would, in my world, I'm thinking we rebuild the ship because I broke it. We rebuild the ship, you know, again, because I broke it. And then we go somewhere else. I think the tell will be when are the Mechanators coming for us. That's kind of the gig. When are the Mechanators going to show up? You know, if nothing else, if we're going to go somewhere else, I'm going to need more storage space in this ship. Now, okay, so there's my where the thrusters go thing. So I couldn't put anything there, but I could put stuff in here. We could extend storage down there. Why don't I just experiment with this first? I'm getting ahead of myself, as I often do. And also, speaking of making fun drugs, we should probably make some fun drugs, seeing as we've got those. So, I can't do that yet. Because I don't have drug production. I have no research. I have no research whatsoever. Yes, the coffee warmer thing has come up for a number of years, and I still do not have one. At this point, it's just become a bit of a meme, hasn't it? I do have Gatorade handy, though, which is supposed to be cold. It's also very sweaty Gatorade because it's been sitting in a warm room, and I just dribbled like water all over myself. Less than ideal. All right, next. They want another bed, but they really don't. Stench, you have been tended to, right? Yep, you're going to be out of commission for a while, though, kid. But everyone else will be basically fine. And then when we get this powered, let's get... Why are you saying you are powered? You're not powered. We haven't done that yet. But let's just make some chem fuel from wood. Do it like 5 times. There we go. Just to keep it coming. And then we'll kind of figure out how much we need as we go along. But I think I'd love to squeeze, and I think I can do it. Both of these chem fuel tanks in here. And then also have like a small storage area for chem fuel itself. I really want the world's most explodey room. Like, it's just begging to explode. I am begging for a fire here, as I often am. Like, hey, go ahead, burn something. We all remember the great pantry fire of 2021. Go ahead and burn something, I dare you. So if we don't leave immediately, then maybe we could start to make this more of a real base. We could actually start to put some things together here. What I'm waiting for is the game to say, ha-ha, the Mechanators have found you, excuse me, the Mechanoids, rather, have found you, and they're on their way. And they're going to murder you in the face. And I'm going to be like, oh, dang. So I don't know how long... I mean, I've broken my spaceship, so if it says that right now, we're kind of boned. I got nothing. But if they're going to say, hey, the Mechanoids are coming, you got to get out of there, I kind of want to be prepared to go. But if they're not, like, how long do I have? Do I have a game week, a game year, a season? I have no idea how long it's going to take them to hunt us down. I can't imagine it's going to be that long. No guy reheats his coffee in a microwave. Yeah, there's nothing ostensibly wrong with that. It's kind of like heating a burrito in the microwave. Like, it's scalding hot. It's like dangerously hot, like lava. Bringing it all full circle to the lava thing. You see what I did there? Full circle to lava. We're back to lava now. Okay, we're on lava. Lava is wicked fun to say. So bringing it back to that, it's just scalding hot, is what it is. We should all chip in and give Dave an ember mug, which is self-regulates temp to ideal settings. That sounds far too complicated. Thelium. I kind of like that, actually. I kind of like that. But let's go with... Okay, so it has to be something I'm going to remember when I do the save file. So this is Dave in space. There we go. Because otherwise I will not remember what thelium is. and I'm going to save over it, and we're all going to be sad. So, okay, Dave in space. There we go. Bertha, what are you just hanging out at the campfire here, or are you actually doing anything? Oh, speaking of which, why don't we keep the murders going? So, why don't we get another gazelle picked off? Wow, it is really a terrible map for animals. I mean, I'd love to shoot an ostrich, but apparently they're very fussy about that. They're like, nah, I would prefer you didn't shoot me. Now I'm going to hit you in the face. Should I start to get some research going? Wow, there was not much blasteel over there. That was a very small vein. Should I start to get some research going, or am I just kind of stretching people too thin at this point? I might be. Oh, I didn't need to do that power cable at all. Of course, it's just going to reach automatically over there. Oh, well, whatever. There's a couple of pieces of steel. No big deal. Okay, Bertha's moving on this. I mean, bits of my spaceship are vaguely coming together, I guess. So, Purple Argonaut. Purple... Oh, the ship. Oh, we're naming the ship the Purple Argonaut. That's not bad. Okay, I will open the floor for... Never mind, I've already done it. Never mind. Never mind, I'm not... The floor is closed. The floor is closed. I briefly opened the floor. Now the floor is closed. So... you knew I was going to do it. Geniusosity. There we go. And yes, it has to be all small letters. It has to be lowercase. Oh, never mind. Mark already got it. All right, the SS Geniusosity, hashtag Geniusosity. There we go. It's the SS hashtag Geniusosity. Oh, it capitalized the G. I didn't want that, game. That was mean. All right, I'm going to need more flooring here. Definitely going to need more flooring there. I'll have to have a think about that. Finish the floors out, Bertha. And then we will we'll figure out something else. Indeed, the Argonaut was Odysseus' ship. So one would presume that was kind of built in. Wait, whoa, what just happened to Harry? What's going on? Oh, bugs. Yeah, bad. Okay, probably should have dealt with that. Run? Run? Where do we live? Run? Okay, this could be... No, don't run that way, you moron. Harry's probably... Yeah, Harry's down. Okay, Harry Igor already down. And I don't really have a good way of dealing with that. I'm just going to see if Harry can kind of extract himself from this. Now, are they coming for us? Are they coming for us? I think they're coming for us. Right. Well, this is going to be a super, super short one. Okay. Harry, could you not go... Could you just, like, leave? Like, go... Yeah, leave. They seem to be good. They seem to have lost interest in you. I won't get the gun. They seem to have... Yeah, move quicker, dude. I know you're horribly, hideously mutilated right now. Oh, Bertha's going to finish off the gazelle. Hey, Bertha, you want to actually grab that? No empty accessible spot to store it. Really? Really? You sure about that? Oh, wow, storage is full. Okay, I will make this bigger. Just like that and that. Okay. Bertha, could you now get the gazelle? Okay, haul the gazelle. Harry's just going to make his own way back. Harry's just going to make his own way back. Eventually. How banged up are you, kid? You're going to be dead in 4 hours. Right. That's bad. Bertha, we're actually going to prioritize... I can't rescue Harry. He doesn't actually technically need rescuing. You don't have any medicine on you. Boy, that idea about having medicine on us would have been fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Harry's fallen over. Bertha, could you quickly rescue Harry? Forget the gazelle. We're going to put gazelle on a back burner. We're going to say, you know what? There's more gazelle in the world. We can get gazelle. Okay? It is not unlike opening the Ancient Horror right away. You know what? I will put that one squarely on me. I should have created a no-bug zone. And we're going to do that right now. It's a little irrelevant at this point. But I need an allowed area. Okay, so new area, and we're going to call this the no bug zone. No bug zone. Okay, good. And then invert that. So, yeah, and then shrink it. So we don't go anywhere over here. All right, if there's gazelles there, good job, gazelles. You win. All right, we maybe be able to go around the corner there. Okay, that was fun. Harry Igor's time with us might indeed be brief. That leaves me Bertha and banged up Stench. And a dead gazelle. And a dead gazelle. Hey, okay, thoughts. Thoughts. Put a sleeping spot down. Like right here. Okay, and make it a medical sleeping spot. Bertha, can you just drop Harry? I know. Harry's having a bad time. I get it. Bertha, can you go over here, please, just so I can see things? Thank you. And now, could you please rescue Harry? Hopefully, you're going to take... Yeah, right there. Boom. Okay, no. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Stay there. Could you just tend to him whatever? Like, whatever you've got. All right. You're going to go get all the way over there to get medicine, though, aren't you? If I said, Harry, you don't get any medicine. Doctor care, but no. I just want to... He's not going to make it 2 hours. In 2 hours, we're not going to make it home in 2 hours. So what I want is just a basic medical training. Just, like, get him stabilized. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Just get him stable. That's all I need. And then we can move him. Okay, 1 hour. 1 hour still. Keep it going there, kid. I think we can probably pull this off. It's terrible. I mean, he's going to be down for a long time. A long time. Okay, 1 hour again. Come on, keep it moving, kid. Keep it moving. Let's patch this guy up as best as we can. 7 hours. No, 0.6. Come on, faster. And another 0.4. Come on, get him. Nope, not going to happen. We're going to lose Harry. Yep, Harry's dead. Okay, it was a good idea. Just dump him on the ground and do what we can. All right. Well, good news. We have more food available for everyone. Good news. We have more food available for everyone. Bad news. We've lost Harry Igor, and he was one of my favorites. Better news. Stench is back up. So... Let's have some thoughts here. Oh, the zombies have already rotted away. Bertha, could you just quickly construct that grave? That would be great. Can we save Harry for food? No, unfortunately, we are not cannibals. Great idea. And certainly Event Guy would be thinking along those lines. And then can we say that this is for Harry? We may as well just get the funeral out of the way. After living with that unburied colonist thing with Chibi, we're just going to deal with this nonsense. So, Stench, I know you're doing things, and that's very, very exciting. I love it when you do things. I really am. I'm a huge fan of your things. Where did we put the corpse? Where's Harry Igor's body? Oh, he's over here. Could you... No, don't consume him. Oh, you never do hauling. Bertha, you're having a snack. Okay, when you've had the snack, can we haul the corpse, please? So, when one door closes, another door opens. And I will fully and 100% put that on me. I should have created a no-bug zone immediately when I saw the bugs there. Immediately should have made a no-bug zone. But I didn't. If you could bury Harry. That's fun to say. Bury Harry. That's really, really fun. Wasn't he our captain? I don't think we actually have an official captain, Martin. We got pilots. And I got a backup pilot. I think actually Harry was the co-pilot. I think Stench is the smarter of the two. So we still got a decent pilot there. And I think I'll still be able to cover most of my needs with those two. Harry was my best doctor. Can we save Harry to bring him back later? Mel, I'm going to tell you. After going through the Chibi thing, it's going to have to be a very special colonist for me to hold on to a colonist for 3.5 years. No, there are no crypto sleep cabinets. And those don't work for corpses. By the way, those only work for, like, you have to be somewhat alive. Okay, can we just have a real quick funeral? Okay, yep, slam that out. Everyone's going to hate it, but it'll get the job done, and then everyone will be like, yay, we did a burial thing. All right. No, so there are no crypto sleep cabinets on the map that I'm aware of. I just should have done the no bug zone. And hey, while you're doing that, Dave, why don't you put people in the no bug zone? Harry was my best doctor. Apart from that, I can work around the lack of a Harry Igor. I know that's not common. You're like, everybody needs Harry Igor. You're right, they do. Yeah, Mo, you can't leave this for long. It was a heartwarming ceremony. Good. I'm so pleased. That makes me eternally happy. I've lost my best doctor, but this is getting done. This is happening. And what have we done here? Marble chunks. Okay, could we not have marble chunks here? Maybe we could put those somewhere else. And you've done some more graves. Too bad, the zombies are gone at this point. If we could just have a brief zone, not a stockpile, a dumping zone. I will work around the loss of Harry Igor for two reasons. One, I'm just getting warmed up. Two, I am a genius. Hashtag geniusosity. Can you kidnap him? No, he's already gone, Rob. We're off on other things. We've already said goodbye to Harry. It was a heartwarming ceremony. The visitor is gone. We're going back to work, is what we're doing here, Rob. We're getting back to work here. So let's do this. Oh, there's a raid. The virus slickers are here. RimWorld, you're usually... I know you reuse names a lot, but I feel we've had like 20 raid gangs that have had either virus or slick or slicker in their title. I think you really maybe expand your vocabulary a little bit there. Not a major complaint, but I feel almost every raiding colony is the virus something or the something slickers. Am I wrong? I feel like everybody who raided us in the last 2 years had these issues. So here's a naked guy with a knife. Virus slickers, and who? What do they look like? Yeah, I know they're attacking immediately. Are you naked guy with a knife? You are naked guy with a club. Okay, you're not actually naked. You have pants and a shirt on. You're not technically naked. Okay, team, we need to... I know we're having a bad day, what with the loss of Harry Igor, but we are going to persevere because we don't got time for this nonsense. Okay, that's the key here. We don't got time for this nonsense. Harry Igor is gone. We miss him. Moving on. Bertha and Stench coming down here. Gravcore detected. Hang on, I'll get to that in a sec. I've got a guy to shoot here. I'm very, very busy. You guys go over there, and where's the dude? There he is. Hang on, slow everything down. Excuse me one sec. All right, slow everything down a little bit. If we can take him alive, that's great, but I'm also not going to be super fussy right now. Actually, I say that. Knife, are you any good at anything? Wow, yeah, you're a waster. They're not actually that good. You do have good intellect. And you have a crafting skill. You're psychically dull, you're gay, you're night owl, nimble. I could kind of work with you a little bit. We might just try and punch you. I think we're just going to try and punch you. RimWorld Train for Dave was ready for you. What else will happen? It can be as ready as it wants, generally. So, certainly I train for RimWorld in the same way that RimWorld trains for me. I know they've had this in for me since I beat Anomaly. But the one thing RimWorld cannot conquer is geniusosity. So RimWorld can conquer genius. But once you slip the surly bounds of genius, race past genius in the right lane, giving genius the finger. Once you have popped the soap bubble of genius and exploded into the realm of geniusosity, RimWorld cannot cope with that. Okay? Hashtag geniusosity. RimWorld cannot cope with that. So you're looking at this going, oh my god, this colony is going to collapse at any moment. And I'm looking at this going, one door closes, another door opens. I don't know what that door is yet. That's the nature of geniusosity. Hashtag geniusosity. So, I say I don't want to take you alive. We're going to give that a shot by having everyone drop their weapons, which sounds terrible, but we're just going to punch people. We're just going to go with a base punching idea, where we punch people. So hopefully we can kind of club him into submission a little bit with our fists. And we've got the spacesuits on. We should probably be able to hit him pretty well. Yeah, medical treatment. That's fine. I think Bertha will take that, right? Yeah, it's just a tiny little bruise. Tiny, tiny little bruise. That's fine. And then, yeah, keep doing that. Knife, how are you doing? Yeah, you're bruised a lot more. You're psychite dependent, though. Of course you are. What with you being a waster? So that means coma in 30 days, dead in 60 days if I don't come up with some hardcore narcotics. We're going to give it a shot. We'll see how it goes. We're going to give it a shot. Okay, there we go. So he's down. Great. Where was Harry Igor's bedroom? Because we certainly don't need that anymore. We actually never actually built that. Are we out of wood? We're out of wood. Huh. Who knew? I mean, I do now. So this is not a medical bed. This is now a... No, this is now a prisoner bed. Okay. Unfortunately, we got to get from A to B that way. So actually, change that back. So make this for colonists. Make this for for prisoners. And make this for Bertha. There we go. Okay. And then we should have another bed up here somewhere that I have, right? No, those are the only two beds you have, Dave. Those are literally the only two beds you have. So team, undraft you, and then could you, no, there we go, Stench. Could you capture knife, please? All right, and then we'll get your weapons back in play. All right? Okay. That was a granite bed blueprint. This one? I really say I was going to make that? Wow, why did I make that out of granite? That's a terrible idea. I should make that out of, like, wood. We've got some wood down here. Granite's a very silly idea for a bed. Oh, I don't think I would do that at all. I would not enjoy granite bed. You're saying I don't have enough wood. I will. It's on the map. It'll be fine. All right, and take his club and obviously take his money. Stench, how are things going up here? Bertha, you can tend to yourself. You're all on self-tend, so that should be no problem for you. And Bertha will walk it off, basically, as indeed Poxita points out. She's tough. She's tough. So let me just get my dude in here and see if he needs any immediate medical attention. Hydroponics will be a must. You're not wrong about that. I don't think we're even at the level we can even... Oh, you're already tending to him. Good. Where we can start researching yet. Even in a regular game, I usually don't start any research for the first couple of seasons. Just trying to get fundamentals down. So let's start by converting you to our cause. Okay? I won't take the blood out of you right now. What do you believe in anyway? What's your nonsense? The Outlaw Creed. Yeah, that sounds very silly. Let's not believe in that. And then everyone else can just kind of go about their business here. So how about we try and put this together? So a steel hull is going to need to go here and here and here and here. I should probably... that's going to bug me if I don't do that corner. That's going to really mess with my head. So do that corner. Okay. Now what? What is the mechanoid relay? You've detected the energy signature of a grav core, powering a relay that's part of a huge mechanoid communication net. I can disassemble it, but the process will take days to complete. Relay itself will be heavily defended. Well, that sounds terrible. Obtain grav cores and grav light panels to increase the size of your grav ship. Cool. So we'd get a grav core and grav light panels. Obviously, we're not going anywhere near that right now. Even if I wanted to, my ship is broken. So this is a subquest of the grav ship, so that's fine. We'll back burner that. We'll come back to that at some point. I don't think sending Bertha and Stench to deal with a giant mechanoid hive is necessarily my smartest idea right now. I think we'll kind of keep it a little lighter. All right. How are we... We have 38 meals. We made no new meals recently. What with the gazelle issue, where we went down to get a gazelle, and we didn't get... Bertha, was this the smartest choice? You're dangerously near the no-bug zone. How's your health, kid? You have a tiny bruise. Just heal yourself. Tend to Bertha. Bertha, tend to Bertha. We might forget Harry, Song of the Lute. I mean, that's just one of many. That colonists come and go. They come and they go, and they die under, I'd like to say mysterious circumstances, but that wasn't a mystery at all. A young beggar wishes for aid. I've got aid for you. Bugger off, kid. There's my aid for you. Okay, the SS Geniusosity is allegedly ready to launch again. I dispute that, because there's no walls. It's just really a platform. So I hear what you're saying, that the SS Geniusosity is ready to launch. It's not, really, is it? What do you want, kid? You want 2 medicine. Yeah, I guess. Where are you? Okay, can I just... He's got a tail. I could probably capture him. Those two things are not related. Can I, like, just for having the conversation, if I said arrest him, I got a 90% chance of arresting this kid. There might be a part of Dave that might be even more brutal than usual. Normally I just give the kid 2 medicines, say bugger off. But I kind of need a crew here. Just one kid. Just one kid, that's all. He's got a tail. It'll make him easy to capture. You can just grab him by the tail. Is there an advantage to giving money to the beggars? The only advantage is if your ideology is charitable, then they'll be sad if you don't. They're going to be wicked sad when I capture this kid. I tell you that right now. They're going to be wicked sad when this kid cuts. They're like, please, sir, could I have some medicine? And I just club him over the head and put him in prison. This is, you know what? You know what? That's how this is going to go down. That's how this is going to go down. All right? We saw what happened with the most recent run, where RimWorld would nuke me because it was angry. It was punishing me because I am indeed a modern Prometheus, chained to the rock of RimWorld. Like Prometheus, I have gifted the world, not with fire, but with geniusosity. Hashtag geniusosity. So I think, all right, in Anomaly, it was a different RimWorld Dave. It was a Dave who was playing, some might argue, slightly smarter, until I recognized that I was a genius, and then it all came together. This RimWorld Dave might be a little more brutal. You know what, kid? Not only are you not getting medicine, you're not getting, like, basic freedom. So, Bertha, unfortunately, your bedroom is... I don't even really want to take the time to move the bed. I'm just going to say that this is all one big prison right now. Okay. And where did the kid go? Where's Captain I've Got a Tail? Right over there. Right over there. Hey, Bertha. Bertha. First of all, grab your gun. Let's just deal with fundamentals here. So equip that. And actually, Stench, what are you doing? You're relaxing. Could you grab that axe, please? All right. And then, Bertha, I've got a rich plan for this kid's life. Okay? And the plan is this kid belongs to me now. So 90% chance to arrest him, 0% chance to give him any medicine. I'm telling you that right now. It's not technically kidnapping in that, I mean, the implication of kidnapping is thus. I am going to take you, and then I'm going to tell someone who likes you that I have you. And after that, I'm going to likely demand money or some other sort of goods or service in exchange for releasing you back to the people who liked you in the first place. That is really, I would say, a fundamental definition of kidnapping. So right off the bat, I don't know if anyone even likes this kid. I don't know that I don't have time to get into his social life. Okay? I don't have time to get into his social life. And also, I have no intention of giving him back. So it's really not kidnapping. I'm taking him permanently. As Song of the Lute points out, this is effectively an alien abduction. I've landed, and I'm abducting the locals. Okay, and if I find a cow, I'll kill it or something. Let's deal with this. Let's deal with this. Bertha, where are you at with the kid? I don't even need to heal him. So we're going to have sadness here. The people are going to be sad about this. That's fine. I will cope with sadness. Are you sad? Actually? Colonists died. Yeah, you're sad about that. No, you guys actually don't even care. Because you're not, I mean, charitable is not necessarily your gig. So undraft you and start... Oh, I need to make sure I got people on wardening for one thing. So yeah, wardening 1. Okay, great. And you can be on wardening 2, just making sure they're fed more than anything. And we can have this club. Thank you. All right, yeah, Bertha's feeding knife here. So Dahook, what's like your gig? What do you believe in? Hyper-steelism. Now that does sound very, very cool. Ambi, our favorite alcoholic chicken. How are you? Ambi, I've taken to abducting people. Yeah. So we're almost 2 hours into me playing Odyssey, and I'm already... Wait, whoa. Stench and Bertha are already hooking up. Stench and Bertha are... Well, great. Now I just need a double bed. Fantastic. Cancel that and just build me a double bed instead. And could somebody actually do that at some point? That'd be great. I'll get some more wood chopped down momentarily. So, yeah, there's a bunch of trees up here we can take down. So, chop that, and chop... Well, we don't have a lot of wood around this map, but chop all that anyway. And also, get the agave, because that'll be real easy food. Bertha, what are you doing? You're hauling the smoke leaf down. Cool, cool, great idea. Awesome, love what you're doing there. If you could finish building my spaceship so we can leave at some point. So, Ambi, our favorite alcoholic chicken, we're already taking a more... I want to say brutal. I do. I want to say dark, and you're saying, Dave, we've seen you do some dark things in this game. We know there are lines you won't cross, but you've done some wicked dark things in this game. I am preparing for RimWorld to try and just destroy everything that I hold holy, which is my genius, hashtag geniusosity. So we've gone a little more brutal than what one might expect. Khalil, yeah, I could grow wood. I don't know how to do it yet. So, and I'm not going to. I don't know tree sowing at this point. I'm not going to know tree sowing for a long, long time. There are far other. I almost never do tree sowing. I do tree sowing like wicked late in the game when I just feel like getting cocoa. But apart from that, I don't. I want to say I've abducted a small child with a tail, because that's so fun to say. Oh my god, try it at home. No, seriously, say that out loud. Don't, like, if you're at work or something, probably don't say that. Or indeed within earshot of literally anyone else at this point. Probably don't say that. Certainly not within earshot of people who don't know you. But go ahead and say you've abducted a small child with a tail. And it'll be really, really fun. So, really what I'm doing is offering Dahook here a better life in space. Or indeed just sort of bouncing around the planet being wicked awesome. And it's not a voluntary thing. I am really demanding that he accompany us in space. As Mel says, he was starving. And apparently he needed medicine, so I assume there was something wrong with him. Apart from being a small child with a tail. I mean, that's a start right there. And I have given him a bed. Pretty nice one, actually. And his own bedroom. Probably never had that before. Probably had to sleep with his siblings. There's probably 20 people in a bed. And now he's got his own very spacious bedroom, I might add. And food. And loving comfort. And by loving comfort, what I mean is we are Mike Tysoning him into loving us. So eventually it'll feel like love. If you do it long enough, it'll feel like love. So, well, that's Mike Tyson's theory anyway. So, Dahook, this nonsense that you believe in has got to go. This hyper-steelism nonsense. Actually, how much do I really need to focus on that? Because we've got ideology dialed down to basically nothing. I'm gonna switch gears here with this and just go immediately into recruit. Maybe, you know, I can deal with the effects of them just like being, oh, I'm sad because I don't believe in your ideology. I'll cope with that. Right now I need warm bodies. And Dahook, what is it that you do around here, by the way? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You're wicked good at animals. And you can do the animal war call thing, which is terrible. It sounds cool, but it's not really that good. But you are only 8. So I can see a rich future for you once you agree that this is the best place for you to live, and by live I mean in space. Let's deal with some other issues here. These guys have hooked up. Cool. And we've got rice coming in too. Great, we can make some food. Bertha, what are you doing? Could you maybe, like, work on the bed? Like, it's your bed. I figured you want to do that. We're missing 85 wood. Okay, they'll get on that at some point. And what I'd like, yeah, if we could just kind of get back into rebuilding the spaceship, I really feel that would be ideal. So just for having conversations about things, first of all, as somebody very accurately pointed out, we need a door here. What is this? Just a regular steel door. Okay, fine. Put a regular steel door there. And then if I wanted to build a copy, I could build one there and one there and still have a very small storage area for chem fuel. Okay, that's probably going to be the plan. In fact, let's just get that plan a-rockin'. All right, so we can put all of that down there. Can we beat him into believing what the rest of us believe? Eventually. We've got ideology dialed way the heck down. So I don't know how fussy they're going to be if they have mixed ideologies in the group. Oh, you can actually use that bed? Oh. I didn't know you could use that. I thought that was purely decorative to be deconstructed later. Okay, cool. Yeah, you can live there. That's fine. That's fine. The life of a genius is tough. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It hurts sometimes. It's like a throbbing. I should probably get that checked out by a doctor. But then he says, we'll have to remove your geniusosity. And I'm like, nah, dude. No, I'm banking on this. Bertha has fallen asleep in the prison, nowhere near her lover, Stench. I'm sure many people are sad about that. So what I need next is Stench to focus on... Yeah, he should be focused on cutting things down. Good. And everyone is in the no-bug zone, so we won't have the Harry Igor scenario all over again. Good. Excellent. All right, move things on. It's a permanent summer. Oh, I didn't notice that. There's just permanent summer. It's always summer here. Well, no wonder it's a year-round growing season. Huh. Okay. Well, that's what it is. So long as we got food coming in, that's all I care about. I'd like to start doing a lot more things, but A, I've only got 2 people. Because, you know, Harry Igor is dead. And B, I don't know how long we're going to be here. And that's the fussy part. I don't know. I could easily convert this into a pretty decent starter base. There's actually some good areas carved out here. But I don't know how long we're going to be here. It's also, now that I'm looking at it, it's very defendable. It's like, I could just build a small trap corridor right here. I'm going to have a think about that. Put the ship down here because, just in case anyone didn't see the start, we put the ship down here so I can build out. Because this is too close to the edge of the map. I couldn't build anything that way. So we put it down here so I can do some building over here. But then that's why that's there. Can the new kid dig? Dig in a sense of mining, Buzzkill, or dig in a sense of, like, wicked groovy? Like, yeah, I totally dig it, man. He can probably do either. The thing is, he's 8. So he can do whatever the heck I tell him to do. And he'll get better at it. No, not only is he not good at mining, he's genetically terrible at mining. He actually has a mining of -8. Okay? So 0, basically. But it would take him basically 9 levels to get to mining 1. Fun. Yay. Because he's a learn level of 0. So he's at -8. There can't be a -8. But it would take him 9 levels to get good at mining at all. So, no. Basically, this kid will never do mining ever. Crafting, on the other hand, got a passion for it. He also loves shooting things. He's never done it before, but he's interested in learning about killing. And I'm interested in teaching him, because that's what I am. I teach, I teach. And what I'd like to teach is an 8-year-old how to fire things, like a gun, at somebody else. Knife, on the other hand, can technically mine. Good intellect, though. Good intellect. Will be a good pilot, and also, we do need to do normal things like research as well. So we're going to put these guys, again, on recruiting. You've got 8.4, and you're down to 5.5. We're going to have the kid pretty soon. Can he groove? In my colony, everybody grooves. If I had designed RimWorld, there would be a groove skill. Like right at the end. Cleaning, dark study, research, groove. And everybody would be number 1 on grooving. That's probably not true. I would focus on cooking more than anything. Speaking of research, no, I've got too many things going on. At bare minimum, I need to put the spaceship back together so we can at least leave if we had to. Right now, it's just a junk pile sitting in the middle of this land. Eventually, I would like to be able to go literally anywhere else at this point. It's also a very lopsided ship. I should probably move the campfire. We have to cut down a lot of trees. Are we going to make any moves with the bed at all? You're cloud watching. How about you don't? How about you go do literally anything else but that, Bertha? Like build your own double bed for you and your lover, Stench. Stench, what sealed the deal there? Just for asking the question. A chance for Knife to talk about computer games. No, that wasn't it. Stench promised love to Knife? Really? That's your move on the prisoner? I promise you love. I mean, it's a bold statement. It's hard to kind of back that up with facts, though. I mean, really, you should probably go, if you're trying to convert a prisoner, maybe say something like, we'll give you better food, or this is a better life than what you used to have. We promise we will find you drugs, because Knife really needs drugs. But promising love, that's not necessarily an abstract concept, but I don't know that I could promise that to someone I barely knew. I could promise you food. But promising... Oh, wait, they chatted about eating zucchinis. That's fun. I don't often chat about... I should chat about eating zucchinis more. Yeah. I don't, Rob, again, coming from event guy, I see where you're coming with that. But I don't know if he's necessarily trying to seduce Knife as much as he's promising Knife love in a very abstract way. Like, I don't know, you go to one of them guru things and like, I promise you peace if you follow my program that costs $39.99 a month. It seems like it's promising love. It's abstract, and I think honestly Stench should go with something better, like we'll let you out. If you come into space with us, we will let you out. In fact, that should be the promise right there. So I'm going up to Knife, who is a prisoner. I'm like, here's the deal, dude. You are a drug-addicted psycho who attacked us with a knife, and then we headbutted you into submission. If you wisen up, we will literally take you into space. I'd be like, yeah, totally. I am on board with that. That sounds wicked cool, and way better than my life of being a really ineffectual raider. Because the raiding thing didn't work out at all for me. You guys, I was so ineffectual that you dropped your weapons when you saw me coming. You couldn't even be bothered to shoot me. That's how unthreatening I was. And now you're offering to take me to space? That's awesome. I would totally join. But no, instead Stench is promising an abstract concept of love in exchange for joining. If we have to leave in a hurry, do we just leave the prisoners locked up? Probably, yeah. Probably. Maybe I'll let them out, I don't know. Mo's got cake. I do not have cake. Although Mrs. Dave made this really, really awesome, like, peanut butter s'more thing that we've been picking at for a couple of days, and honestly, I deserve some sort of reward for not eating the whole thing, for actually leaving any at all for her. When they join, do they need their own spacesuits? Now that, Vandler, that's actually an excellent question. I should have... I'm going to say I should have taken the spacesuit off of Stench, and indeed I should have. Guys, we may need to do an exhumation. It'll be tainted by being worn by a corpse, but it is a spacesuit. Huh. That's actually a very valid question, Vandler. If I create some sort of airlock, maybe not. Because... And what if we're just in low orbit? These are great questions. I'm so glad you asked this question. This is a very exciting question and much more interesting than an abstract concept of love. So, if we're just in low orbit, if we're just going like one side of the land to the other, I'm going to guess we probably don't need spacesuits. But obviously we go into space, and I don't have some kind of airlock, which I believe we can construct. Maybe not now, but we can build some kind of airlock. I definitely remember reading something about that. Show me, like, researchy things. Where is basic grav tech? There we go. So, like, standard, no, nothing in there. Advanced, signal jammer sounds fun. That sounds like a way to keep the mechs off our back. And I need fabrication to get into that, too. But I could build an airlock. That way, all the air doesn't go away. So which is good. That's a positive thing to do. And Poxif's saying we're not going into space right now, so we're just a glorified airplane. A very lopsided one, but a glorified airplane at this point. I'm kind of thinking about making this bit a barracks, so they have somewhere to sleep when we're traveling, or just in the future if we're not, we're going to be away for a while. But we'll kind of see how it goes. What are people up to? Sleeping. That's a very useless use of our time here. That's a terrible use of our time. Let's not be sleeping. Let's also cut down some more trees. Anything? There's not a lot in the area. True. That's not a great map for trees, but we'll take what we can get. I don't need a lot of wood. I just kind of need to keep things going for a little while. Yeah, that should all be fine. Just get that. Okay. The problem with having two prisoners is that's sucking up time dealing with them, feeding them and talking to them and whatnot. But the upside is, of course, two new people, one of whom is a small boy with a tail. And you know what? That may be my broad idea on anyone who wanders by. Those solitary traders who have, a couple of things of herbal medicine and some pemmican. Club to the head, and you live with us now. Anyone, just anyone popping by, I will take virtually any warm bodies. However, I'm really going to have a think about Knife and the whole I need drugs soon thing. Because he will. So how are we doing on that, by the way? So obviously psychite dependency. Yup, got that. So after 30 days, so he had psychite 2.7 days ago. So basically when we took him prisoner, he had psychite right before that. So in about 27 days, he's going to go into a coma, at which point he'll be useless. And then at 60 days, he's dead. So I need to come up with something made out of psychite. Now, I forget which run it was, either the Sanguiphage run or the Mechanator run. I was able to put a lot of that stuff together fairly quickly, but I had way more people available where I could spin someone off and do research. I would rather have somebody pop by. Also, there's an emu in my spaceship. It's just an emu hanging out, you know, looking at the spaceship stuff, going, huh, emus in space. I'm down for that. No other animals, right? Just the ostrich, the spiders, the gazelles. Oh, there's a vulture. There's a vulture. We're not going anywhere near that. That looks dangerously close to the no-bug zone. But there's a vulture down here. Just doing vulture-y things, being a vulture. Yep, look at you. Speaking of which, show me, while we're just kind of doing stuff, show me like some research that might have something to do with, well, making animals smarter by, you know, kind of wiring their brains differently. Because I had a hunter drone. Hello. Hunter drones. Explosive drones pursue hostiles and detonate within in range. A flying bomb. Bless you, RimWorld. Bless you. A flying bomb. So that's going to release the hunter trap. Great. Perfect. I mean, it's not as cool as the infinite zombie generator, aka the Dave box, hashtag trademark copyright the Dave box, but I could certainly add that to a trap corridor. Just a hunter trap, you know, you hit it and then a drone explodes you. Cool. Again, not as cool as zombies, but cool nonetheless. Brain wiring I already know. That's the joy wire and stuff. What other new things do I need to know about here? Specifically, again, how do we hardwire different animals to make them, you know, serve my purpose? Psychoid brewing, no. Beer, no. Heavy bridges, no. I'm familiar with heavy bridges. Mech tech, grav tech. How about animal tech? You got animal tech for me in here? I'm figuring it's going to be somewhere in like the bionics field. Somewhere. Can you use raw drugs? No, they won't take raw drugs. They want it all processed and stuff. So I'm just kind of looking through the bionics areas here. Artificial metabolism. Looking for something that says rewiring animals. Beam weapons. Beam weapons? Huh. Got lasers. Lasers are here. Gamma ray laser. A sweeping beam. Pierce thick armor and ignite targets. And then a repeater is what? Emits gamma ray laser in a rapid sequence. Pierce shields. Oh, cool. We get lasers. Roy Scott, thank you for coming by. Thank you. Alicia, welcome. Cool. We get lasers. I'm going to have to go through this at some point and like pick out what is new out of here. I'm just sort of vaguely going by it. Orbital tech. What does that do? Oh, there's the vac suits. And I will need one specifically for kids. There's the vacuum suits there. Boy, that's a long way off. What does an orbital scanner do? Passively scans for irregular objects. Oh, because it'll, you know, like, hey, there's a thing up there you could go look at. That's cool. Digging that. We do need lasers, Ambi. As an alcoholic chicken, I know you're coming from a place that envelops and really wants lasers. I totally get that. Enveloping lasers would be a bad idea. Don't actually do that in your real world. Don't be like, hey, I'm going to go envelop a laser like Dave told me to. I'm not responsible for that. But I know you kind of have a thing for lasers. Alcoholic chickens tend to do that. But we're a long way off from even putting down a research bench, period. So that's how long we've got to go here. Can we cook things with lasers? Yes, hopefully mechanoids. Mechanoids is what I'd like to cook with lasers. That would be my ideal. I'd like to cook mechanoids with lasers. Where are we at? Is everyone just broadly asleep? Could we get anything going on at all, please? Like any sort of... These are really cool floors. These are really awesome floors. Oh, they're totemic boards. Okay. That's why they look so neat. All right, we're feeding the prisoners. Prisoner feeding is good. We like feeding prisoners. Now we're going to talk to the prisoners about joining the colony, and then we're going to do the same to Dahook. Dahook, have we, I don't know, fed you? I mean, you've eaten in the last 24 hours. That's not terrible. If you wise up, kid, you can eat faster than that. We should keep the concept of food going, but we have quite a bit of rice now, so hopefully people will be cooking that up. Wow, they already built that. Holy moly, that went down quick. It was just steel. Okay. So, if I then start deconstructing these... Oh, hang on. No, don't do that. Eject the fuel first. That sounds smart. That's because I can just see if you do it in the wrong order. I'm like, oh, you lost all your chem fuel. Uh-oh. So let's eject the fuel first, and then I'll deconstruct those. And then obviously they'll just move the fuel over to here. Okay, so there's some tanks right there. Oh, I need to put a wall up there. So give me a hull there. All right. Could we get all of these moved, please? I know we probably won't, but if we could get all those moved, that would be great. No. Stop that nonsense. Don't be silly about things. No chunks. No, we do put corpses here. No, we absolutely do put corpses here because we like the food corpses. Okay, so they'll move that out of here. I've got a zone up here somewhere where they can put that nonsense. All right, back to work. What is back to work? What are we doing with that? Did we feed Dahook? Because I'm mildly concerned about that. I feel like we fed him something. I would like to feed him more things that would prevent him from, dying. Tame a boomalope. I'm kind of tempted to just tame an animal to see how we can make them better at doing things. That would be my ideal. All right, I'm going to... Hang on, I'm going to slam that into pause mode. I'm going to take a super, quick 5-minute break. So bear with me, guys. I will be back momentarily. Okay, back to work. All right. So, what was I doing before I was so rudely interrupted by myself? All right. Go fast, and then start planning this out. I want to see what happens when they eject the fuel and deconstruct those things. That'll free up a little bit of space. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. It might largely just still be storage. But I'm going to build a copy of this somewhere, literally anywhere but where it is right now, because that's a very silly place for that. And then the same with this deal. I know it's going to have a penalty. We'll all learn to cope with that. Needs to do some toe touches. Yes, or indeed, as Spike Little Girl says, I've been streaming for a couple hours and drinking coffee. Needs happen. But now we can get back into it. So, I'm just totally making this ship up as I'm going along, but just give me like a bunch of things, and then I'll kind of figure the rest out later. Kind of want to put a wall up there. And then maybe... Okay, here's a plan. What if we did, again, some sort of not captain's quarters, but like a piloting area? I don't even need it that big, really. Actually, I do, because I'm going to need to build a wall around it. So put that together, and then I'm going to move this thing up there, just to, again, free up some space in this area. Are we ever going to eject this fuel, by the way? Eject this fuel. We were talking about taming something. There's nothing really here that I want. Not that's going to not immediately eat me. We're not really going to go ahead and try and tame the mega spider. I think that's a terrible idea. We see where that's gone in the past. I suppose I could just tame a basic rabbit. See what I can do with it more than anything. And then if nothing else, I can eat it later. By the way, let's go murder that. Because, you know, murders. That's how we're eating around here. Although there's a ton more rice coming in too. We're putting all the rice down here. Could we... Oh, we're out of wood again. Right, we're out of wood. More trees over here and more cactus over here. We're just going to do the very best we can with this. What I should do... Hey, here's an idea. Instead of trying to find all the trees, why don't you just make a kitchen? All right, right next to the explodey thing. People will love that. Now, admittedly, that's not going to go down too well because you got power for that. Okay, flip everything. Flip all the scripts. If you have a script, and if you don't, first of all, find one. But if you have a script, flip it and put this like here. Yep, that will not be interfering with anything. And then run this here because I would like to have power that doesn't need wood. So put all of this in here, and then this to here, and then, I don't know, going. I don't know quite how pretty I'm going to make this base because I don't know how long we're going to be here. Keza, welcome, welcome, welcome. How is it so far? Well, one colonist is already dead, but I will fully admit that one was my fault. Hurley, welcome, welcome. That one was my fault. I should have created an area for them not to go into, and then they went into it, and then we were all shocked when one of them died. So that's on me. I accept that. Right now we're trying to kind of expand our shuttle into a little bit more of an actual spaceship. We're kind of seeing how this is going to go here. I'm largely winging it. Nobody is surprised by that. Does soda and energy drinks count as hydration? Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yes. I think most doctors will agree. Drink all the soda. It's very, very hydrating. Beer, too, and grain alcohol. Very, very hydrating. You might get fired for leaving early. I'd like to say that's justifiable, but it's totally not. It's totally not. You should probably stay at work early. You know you can watch it later, right? Base anchor it and always comes back to it. Yeah, I could build that anchor thing. What does it take to build that anchor, by the way? So that would be 300 plasteel. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit much for that. A little bit much for that. Okay. Not so much. We're not going to have that much plasteel in the near future. But kitchen. Back to the kitchen thing. Okay, so kitchen idea is going to go over here. Production. Yeah, give me an electric stove. Like right here. And then move that. Can I have that chair? I would like to have that chair. Reinstall, because it's a wicked cool chair. Reinstall that over there. And then that'll take the burden off of the campfire thing over here. We won't need to keep constantly refueling it. Stench, what are you doing? You're relaxing socially. I should probably give them slightly better things to do. And by slightly better, I mean I'm going to give them the horseshoe pin. Because I don't really have a lot else to give them at this point. 29 Celsius out. That is hot. I'm aware of that. Is there a reason that we're not butchering these creatures? Who's supposed to be on cooking? Bertha, can you get up and like do this? You're not. What do you mean you're not assigned to cooking? Oh, you're not assigned to cooking. Never mind. I have nobody on cooking 1. That's why. Bertha, you're gonna have to be terrible at it. Stench, could you? We got to get some food going on, man. I know it's hot out. It's actually not. It's only 60 degrees here. That's not even that bad. Do I even want to construct a freezer? How long am I going to be at this base? This is what I don't have. What is your plan with this colony? Well, I'm glad you asked that question, Keza. So we initially thought that we would just sort of take a casual approach to Odyssey and sort of see what the game brings us. I mean, we've got a spaceship here. We're trying to build a spaceship. That's wicked cool. It's like an Odyssey thing that we do. And then one of my colonists died, and Dave said, okay, fine. We're going to take a slightly more brutal approach. So what we've done is we've got one prisoner, Knife, here, who is your traditional naked guy with a knife that shows up in RimWorld. And then this kid who has a tail, Dahook, he popped by, and he wanted a couple of pieces of medicine. And instead of giving him the medicine, we clubbed him over the head and arrested him. And we're going to Mike Tyson him into loving us. Right? So that's the plan, Keza. That's the plan. The plan is club you over the head and imprison you and Mike Tyson you into loving us. As Buzzkill said, really the plan is hashtag geniusosity. The plan is genius. Hashtag geniusosity. The execution may be slightly more... I want to use the word brutal, but I don't. What I'd like to use is the word flan. It doesn't really sum anything up, but it's a fun word. It's a fun word, so I might use that word. I might go in another direction. We technically have an ideology, but it's like the basic RimWorld ideology. So we dialed everything else back. Ideology has been dialed back to the most basic elementary ideology, which doesn't require a lot of effort. Anomaly has been dialed back to a little bit of anomaly, but not a lot of anomaly, which was odd because our very first event was a bunch of zombies. So we've got everything dialed back except Odyssey. We're kind of obviously focused on the whole Odyssey thing. Great thing about Odyssey is that when a colony burns the ground, we just fly somewhere else. Yeah, that's kind of the goal. I didn't think I was going to be here long, but now I'm kind of seeing I've got a lot to put together here. And this is a very defendable area. What I don't have is wood. That's my problem. So we're either going to have to get into stone blocks, and I don't have the manpower for that. I don't... Yeah, Buzzkill, this is not chaos at all. This is perfect order. Perfect order. Space ideology helps you like small spaces. Yeah, we kind of glossed over that. We're not going to be too fussed with that. We're just going to keep things as is. All right. We're hopefully going to be making some food soon because I believe we have none. We, in fact, have no food. At all. We have 0 food. Yeah, Stench is eating raw rice. Okay, slam it into pause mode, as we do around here. Let's go kill a couple more gazelles. Because what we're not doing, building a spaceship, is focusing on fundamentals like eating and, you know, food. Things like food, where we eat, and we don't die, and we can keep our prisoners fed. So this is, we could work on that. We're going to work on that. You know what I could do? I could deconstruct virtually all of this. I don't really need a lot of stuff up here. Not right now, anyway. We're feeding the prisoners raw rice. Not super ideal. Is this good? Yeah, this is rich soil. Okay, let's get... Oh, knife has food poisoning. Dangerous food type. Yeah, it's raw rice. It's not that bad. Let's get more food going. Let's focus on fundamentals here, like eating. All right, so this, yeah, that can be potatoes. It's permanent summer, so at least we can be creating food all the time. Catonius, welcome, welcome. DeHook's resistance has been broken. All right, that kid's going to be on board in no time. He'll be useless, but he'll be on board in no time. What are you going to do around here? I mean, probably just cleaning and hauling. And then I'll put you on whatever else I can put you on. Maybe I can just slam you on crafting. Have you start making stone blocks. Are they in love enough to share the double bed? Probably. Probably. Bertha. In fact, I'm surprised they didn't just jump right into bed together. Yeah, reassign. There we go. Yeah, you guys can live together. That frees up some space around here. I don't need space. I got plenty of space. Game about space. Yeah, he's useless, but he won't be useless forever. That's the thing. Won't be useless forever. Are we cooking? Okay, we are cooking food. Let's actually even bump up the number of meals. No, that's the rice itself. Bump up the number of meals that we're doing to say like 25. Now I should think about a freezer. I should probably think about a freezer. I don't really have the wood to keep a wood generator going. Oh, wait a minute, though. I do have a lot of chem fuel. But I kind of need that to launch the ship. But, again, I've got some. And the potential exists to make more. Ideally, I'd like to make it of wood, but and then we'll go back to the no wood thing. But I can make it from other organic stuff. Alright, this room's done. Mad Boomalope. Really, of all the animals that were going to go mad, that's the Boomalope one. Got it. Team, focus up. You know what, RimWorld? Screw you, RimWorld. This is going to blow everything up, isn't it? This is just going to blow everything up. I could try and ignore it. That's probably not going to go well. It's going to figure out where we are. It might not. Maybe it'll just hang out down there. But no, this is... RimWorld's just going to start off strong. RimWorld's just going to... You know what? Okay, the whole spider, mega spider thing didn't work out. We killed one of them, but we didn't kill the other two. So what I'm going to do is just... I'm gonna send in a living bomb. That'll end his run real quick. That'll deal with it. He's got 2 prisoners. He's on his way. I can't let that happen. Okay, we're doing some work there. Okay, there we go. There we go. I'll just send in a living bomb. All right. So if we could, first of all, let's just make sure this is in the home zone. We are in a desert. I've got a feeling this is going to spread. Yeah, let's just make sure we get all the fires out, people. And there's some perfectly good meat, too. That's not bad. Should you confront it away from the fuel? Sure. In an ideal world, Rob. In an ideal world. You might not set a bomb off next to a bomb. I see where you're going with that. And, you know, perfectly justifiable tactic from Event Guy. You're saying, look, you've got a bomb coming your way. And what you also have in front of your face is a bomb. If bomb plus bomb connect, that's going to be a bad time. And I get where you're going with that. Your theory is very valid. Bomb plus bomb equals big bomb. Have we learned nothing from something about bombs? I don't know. I'm sure there's some sort of documentary about bombs that we could have learned things from. But we've apparently learned nothing from that. So bomb plus bomb equals bomb. I see where you're going with that. And again, a perfectly justifiable thing for Event Guy to say. You're focused on vents. So that's where your mind is going to go. Bomb plus bomb equals big bomb. And what I'm doing is effectively flipping the script, as the kids say. Flipping the script. Why do we do that? Okay, I've had scripts in my life. I went to performing arts school. I didn't go there to act, but I found out doing it anyway. If I flip a script over, all I'm looking at is blank pages. Is that the goal? Is it like, okay, no, so it's blank, so you can just like write whatever you want? Is that the goal of flipping the script, is to have a blank piece of paper? Because if that's the case, why didn't I just go get a blank piece of paper in the first place? Like, I've got blank paper. It's in a drawer. Like, 6 inches away from me, there's blank paper. I don't need to go get a script and then flip it to have blank paper. I can have that at any moment. Is that the point of that? Like, oh, you've got a script, but if you flip it, the page is blank, and then you can just, like, imprint your own destiny on it. Because that's dumb. Stench, you're cooking. That is fantastic. I would love it if we had food around here. I will just be enchanted with you if we have food around here. And what I should think about is, hey, how does power work on spaceships? Show me. Like, is this power anything else? How does that work? It seems to me... Just tell me information about this engine. Okay. The heart of the grav ship generates lift. Got it. Lift upwards does not produce forward thrust. Okay, so we need thrusters. Got it. Anything on its substructure that's connected to the grav engine will be transported. Okay. Is this like one big power grid? One giant power grid. Massive and hyper-specialized facilities to produce. Yeah. Sky Ripper. Oh, that sounds fun. We should get one of them. We should definitely get one of them. Does this in and of itself produce power? Well, you know what? You could test that. Dave, you could test that. Put up a lamp. Find out what happens. Test and experiment. Test and experiment. That's the nature of science, and indeed genius. Hashtag geniusosity. Test and put a lamp up. See if it fires off. That's easy enough, right? Put a lamp up, kid. I might do a lot of things. DeHook, if you could jump on board real quick, that'd be great. DeHook, I know you can't cook, but you don't have anything genetically hurting you from cooking. I would be food poisoning for years, but I might just put the kid on constant cooking. We all vote Sky Ripper. I think we're all in favor of Sky Ripper. I don't think there's anyone in the audience who's looking at the phrase Sky Ripper and saying, oh my god, we don't want that. No, I think everyone, every viewer, is looking at the word Sky Ripper and saying, how soon do we get one, and how much damage does it do? Because that's what I'm thinking. How soon till we get one, and how much damage will it do? But right now, we do have to kind of focus on fundamentals here. And wait, what is their joint name? Berthatench. Berthatench. Okay, so their celebrity name is Berthatench. Cool. What is that? Why do I own that? Torch lamp. No, don't need that. Okay. So, yes, we will work towards Skyripper, I assure you. At some point in the future, there will likely be a Skyripper. But right now, I'm down a colonist, and my best hope is an 8-year-old kid with a tail. And this guy, the drug addict. These are my recruits. This is the team that's coming in. These are the reinforcements. Okay, this is the cavalry of RimWorld. A drug addict and an 8-year-old kid with a tail. And frankly, I got better hopes about the 8-year-old. Because Knife is not going to be happy for very long. If I said we wanted to start research, obviously Stench is quite good at that. The thing is, Stench does everything else. Hey, Knife, can you cook at all? I'm trying to just find a way to get Stench off of cooking. No, you're also genetically terrible at it. Great. Good. All right, Stench, you're on permanent cooking. Bertha will get better at it as time goes on, but not right away. Can we keep the kid? Oh, we're definitely keeping the kid, Spike Little Girl. I abducted him for a reason. I didn't pistol whip him and drag him into prison for nothing. Okay? I may have done that in the past. I'm not saying I've never done that. But I did not pistol whip an 8-year-old with a tail and throw them in prison for no reason. I did that because they will join our colony. I will make them. Very soon, actually, because he's down to 0 resistance at this point. So, yeah, no, guys, no. Let's not waste wood on these things. Yeah, we don't really need to be wasting wood on that. There's no more automatic, like the toggle the automatic refueling off. DeHook's in. Okay, DeHook's on board. I noticed that with 1.6. There's no the passive coolers. You could toggle automatic refueling off. Can't do that anymore. You can just deconstruct them or nothing at all. So DeHook's in. I've got an 8-year-old with a tail. What's like your first... Wow, okay, we've got a lot of chem fuel here, and we're allowed to have that. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead and make a zone here. Yeah, let's make this as explodey as possible. Because now I've got bomb plus bomb plus bomb. And this is just going to be chem fuel. Yeah, chem fuel. Boom, right there. Boy, an infinite chem reactor would be awesome. Oh, if somebody dropped that on me with the quest, that would be fantastic. Did they add a new wood floor design? No, it's totemic. That came from ideology. I was confused myself, but it's a totemic floor, which is, again, ideology. So that. I don't often play around with the different floors. I should do that more often. It's fun. Speaking of which, can I do floors on top of this? Just for having the conversation. Can I put a wood floor on here? Not enough stored, but you might let me do it. Oh, we could pretty the place up. Okay, cool. That's something to keep in mind. That is something to keep in mind. Okay. With the kid on board, who has immediately gone to bed. I don't even know where you are, but you can sleep in this bed, kid. So no more prisoners. Yeah, for colonists, and that can be for DeHook. I know it's your old prison cell, so it's not like an upgrade. It's literally where you were in prison. And your own blood is on the floor. And Knife's vomiting everywhere. So it probably doesn't smell real good either. And Knife's probably banging on the door going, "Let me out! I don't want to be a prisoner. Also, I'm heavily addicted to drugs. I need to get out of here really quick or I'm going to be in a coma. Totally need to go find some drugs, guys. Guys? Anyone out there?" I figure that's what he hears all day, all night. But, DeHook, let's start to deal with your nonsense here. So you need to be number 1 on all the things you're number 1 on. Thank you. You are really good at handling. We have no need of that, but you can be number 1 on it if you want. Can you technically hunt? I mean, you're saying you can. I'll send an 8-year-old out to hunt things. I got no problem with that. But mostly be like cleaning and hauling. All right, focus mostly on that. In fact, focus mostly on clean. No, actually, don't focus on cleaning. We got a big area. Do some cleaning when you can. And then don't worry about the rest of it. Now, I could deal with the Puro hit roll thing. We could deal with that nonsense. I can get, what? Is that the moral guide? Blah, 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 blah. What is... Bertha, come here. Talk to me about issues. So the Puro... Okay, I know there's no spot now, but I could at least like to look at it. I will make one, don't worry. So, ritual spot, I don't know, slam it next to the rice field. Now, Bertha, now that I've done that, you will talk to me about things, right? So, yeah, it's the moral guide, it's the priest. I can't see a reason not to have a priest. Can I make the 8-year-old a priest? Oh, that sounds very exciting. I love everything I just said. All the words that just came out of my mouth were majestic. No, cannot be a child. Well, that's just silly. Most of your great moral guides are children. Everybody knows that. I mean, H.R. Puffin stuff, for one. I know he wasn't technically a child. He was also a puppet. A Muppet? Costume? I'm going to go with costume. I'm going to go with the MST3K methodology of that. That is, in fact, a costume, not a puppet. Okay. What else do I have to focus on apart from food? And that is really my primary focus. We've still only got 11 meals. We do have quite a bit of boomalope meat, so we got that in stock. And I'm going through those Gravlite panels. Those aren't nothing. I don't have unlimited Gravlite panels. I'd like to get this... In fact, can we just not have this? No, not the rice, the actual thingamajiggy. Deconstruct that. Just get rid of that. And deconstruct this one, too. And then make sure that you actually told them to butcher things up here, Dave, because you didn't, did you? Nah, you never do. You think you do, and then you don't, and then you're sad. Was Jiminy Cricket a moral guide? Yeah, an annoying one. I mean, he's like that moral guide where you're like, can you just leave? Like, you are no fun. I think there's a difference between moral guide and somebody who just sucks the fun out of life. And I think Jiminy Cricket was the suck the fun out of life. I would just squish the guy. I'm not into crickets. I got no time for crickets, Jiminy or otherwise. Is it Jimmy or Jiminy? I'm pretty sure it's Jiminy, right? It's Jiminy. That's got to be right? That sounds right. Okay. How do we make all of this come together here? How do we make all of this come together? What? A raid. Yaha. And they're Neanderthals. Okay, well, right now it's just one of them. And you actually might wander into Bugtown. You might wander into Bugtown. Limestone meteorite. I'm going to broadly ignore that. Yeah, the bugs might see you, dude. They might not. No, you've successfully avoided the bugs. Good news, you. To hook, I don't actually have weapons, I don't think. So you're going to have to punch people. Or, I don't know, use your tail or something like that. I need to like, think about... Well, I know I've said this like 500 times. Think about how long we're going to be here. And how long... And more importantly, maybe stop focusing on building the spaceship and focus a little bit more on getting us stable in any way. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Because right now, we're just clawing along here. I don't have any of the things I would normally have. I don't have any stone cutting going on. I have no kitchen at all. We haven't even put that together. We haven't done the wind turbine. I mean, wind turbines are day one. Everybody be drafted. And then come stand over here. All right, and we'll see what we can do with this guy. I think this will be fine, broadly. How did you get... Oh, the bugs are on the other side. Never mind. I was wondering how you got past the bug zone, and then I totally see how you got past the bug zone. All right, slow this down a little bit here. I wish we had a rifle. Yeah, to hook. Welcome to the colony. Fight for your life. Fight for your life. I will definitely be having you charge head first in. Because as of right now, you're the least member of my colony, and you're also the one I have zero attachment to. We see how easily I gave up on Harry Igor. And he was great. Everybody loved Harry Igor. Okay, yeah, I think this is going okay. Well, it was for a second ago, and then it wasn't. Go ahead and hit this guy with an axe. Maybe like stand here, though, so you don't get shot with... I'm pretty sure you just got shot. To hook, can you... All right, this is going to be hard to explain to an 8-year-old. Could you run through a hail of bullets and headbutt someone? Like, can you, like, dodge bullets Matrix style and headbutt someone? Because it's going to take time to have you walk around Bertha. I probably should do that. Why don't you sort of walk around Bertha? Just if you... Okay, never mind. We've dealt with the problem. All right, everybody's off draft. No contribution there to hook. All right, you can be that, and we actually have some pemmican, which is actually not the worst thing. It's food. Hey, DeHook, got a knife for you. There you go. Just give the kid a knife. It's an awful steel knife, but, you know, it'll get the job done. And I'm almost sad we don't have cannibalism now. I could have just... I could have just eaten him. Ship is most important. Put what you need on the ship. I don't know what I need. I need a lot of things. I mean, the chem fuel is out, so we could deconstruct these things. That will free up some space for largely storage more than anything. We could just take off somewhere else, but why? Because all I'm going to do is put down somewhere else and then start doing this all over again. I'd like to get the ship to something where we could at least... I don't know how long we're going to need to be in this thing. So do we necessarily need sleeping quarters per se? Probably not. Here's a thought, Dave. Why don't you start this little adventure by putting the walls back up? You know, and then at least you got a concept of leaving. That way if we have to jet in a hurry... Ha! Jet! See what I did there? If we have to jet in a hurry, we will have the capacity to do that. So for today's, let's just put the walls back up. And then... I can't quite put them there yet. And then at least if we need to leave, we can. At least we can get out of there. DeHook is drawing on the floor. That is less handy than I really need it to be, kid. Really less handy than I need it to be. You know what? I got a job for you. Bury the corpse. Okay, you were no help on that. You may as well bury the thing. Ooh, also, there's a perfectly good rabbit there that we could just go ahead and murder. So go ahead and murder that for me, please. Who has tattered apparel? Oh, the kid. Of course he does. Why would he not? Why would he not? I could put up a hand tailoring bench. That I could probably get done for you, kid. It's not going to be much, but I'll do the best I can. I know it's technically outdoors. It will be fine. I assure you, it will be fine. It's a minor work speed penalty. It's probably a huge work speed penalty, but it is a work speed penalty. So, what? Yeah, put the walls up, Dave. Put the walls up. It does look like a jam-packed Toyota Camry. Yeah, it looks like somebody's moving to college. This is what this looks like, or coming home from college, really. It looks like this is somebody coming home from college, is what I'm getting out of this. But I would like to get some more storage. That's part of the reason of moving all the chem fuel tanks over here. Apart from the explosion factor, which is not to be underestimated. But apart from the explosion, I would like to get stuff over there. Also, is there a chair under here? Yeah, there's a wooden stool. I suppose they would benefit from having a chair. They always benefit from having a chair. And we only have 7 meals, guys. There's only the 7 meals going on. Stench, how banged up are you? Oh, I keep forgetting to delete this thing. Right, well, Stench sleeping over there now. I will try to put something better together for you, kid. How about a steel bed? I've got plenty of steel. So, how about we make a... there's a good spot right there. Incoming mechanoids. Oh. Slam it into pause mode. Hang on. I'll be right with you. So, 1 steel bed, please, could live right there. That's going to be a very tiny but efficient hospital. Right. So the mechs are on their way, which is fun. Okay, gather your supplies, flee the map, selecting the pilot console, and selecting launch. So how long was it? It was about a season, right? Before they came on board? About a season. Huh, okay. Alright, that's fine, RimWorld. I'll deal with you. I'll deal with you. Knife. I'm going to ask a really, really important question of you. How soon do you think you're going to be on board? Is the answer less than 7 days and 23 hours? Because the answer on that needs to be yes, Knife. Here's your alternative. Knife, you and me, talk. Let's talk, okay? I know you're throwing up everywhere. You're puking everywhere. It's gross. Here's the gig, Knife. I am not going to bother building a prison inside my very, very tiny Toyota Camry spaceship. All right? What I'm going to do is leave you behind for the mechs. Okay? I may even draw attention to you. I may put a sign up that says, person this way. Hey, mechs, come this way. So what you can do to help yourself out, kid, is you could join on board, right? You could like come on board our gig here. Because we are fat with a PH. Okay? We're really awesome. We're metal. We're not just metal. We're metal. Okay? So you could come on board. And what you need to be telling me is I will do that, Dave, and I'm going to do that in under 7 days, 23 hours. So let's look at your thing here, kid. You're down to 0.9. So your answer is yes. What I'm hearing from you, Knife, is my answer is yes, Dave. I will be on board with your nonsense in under 7 days and 23 hours. So you can come with us. All right? You can come with us. Because otherwise I will just leave you here. All right? The kid jumped on board right away. 7 days, 20... Oh, I'm glad I told him to put the wall back up. I'm glad we're working on that. Is it too late to build a brig? No, I think Hurley will be fine. He's basically going to be converted like tomorrow or the day after. Not converted, recruited rather. Tomorrow or the day after, so I'm not worried about that. I'm glad we're putting the door back on. That's going to be fun. This is a so not aerodynamic spaceship. I think this thing would just kind of fly in circles, which could be fun, if nauseating. My concern is we don't have a lot of food to go anywhere with. The next place we go, I should really think about somewhere that might have a lot of good soil, like a tropical area, because those generally have a lot of the fertile soil things. So probably not Lava Party, is what I'm thinking there, even though apparently it's a year-round growth rate. And critical medical emergency who? Oh, Stench. Yeah. Dude, deal with your nonsense. You're on self-tend. Can we delete... Oh, they don't have the bed made. No, don't do that. Bertha, can you go tend to Stench? Thank you. Sorry, I thought you'd kind of tended to your own nonsense, Stench. You are on self-tend. There's like something you can do. Actually, can you go do that, please? Can you stop whining about it? Oh, he's down. Okay, he's totally down. All right, you don't really need a barracks, but bedrolls might be an idea. Definitely. I just need to kind of get Stench under control here. You're still on that, right, Bertha? Yeah, you're coming. I gotta get this thing out of there. I don't know why I put this... I do know why I put that over there. It's trying to save Harry Igor. But it hasn't worked out. We see that. So, just in case this happens again, I'm just going to put another one of those up here. Sure, right there. I can't assign this as medical. I can make this medical. Oh, there we go. Cool. I didn't even know you could ever use those. I thought those were just decorative. Bertha, how's the Stench equation going? Are we doing good there? You having fun? Yeah. So, Stench, kind of a similar question that I asked Knife. So, we were inquiring with Knife, our prisoner, you may remember him, about how long he planned to just kind of hang out and suck up food. Because it needs to be less than now 7 days and 16 hours. So my question to you, Stench, is how long do you think you're going to be injured? Because the answer to that needs to be less than 7 days, 16 hours. Otherwise, you will be left behind. JMO, there's no actual end game to this. No, there is, actually. We were kind of given a hint at the beginning that our kind of goal is to eventually go defeat the, I don't know, master mech cluster or something like that. Although then they will keep hunting us until we do that. So, there's your end game right there. Go defeat the master mech cluster, and then we'll be kind of off the hook at that point. I have a feeling that's going to be a very, very long way off. I have a feeling this is a long scenario. Like Anomaly was a long scenario. Royalty can be less so. You can almost, if you get the right quest, you can almost speed run Royalty. But this is a much longer scenario. Obviously, all of this stuff is way longer than vanilla. I mean, you put the right scenario together, and you could, well, not scenario, but you put the right people together, and you can get the spaceship flying pretty quickly. But this is going to be a long one. I have a feeling this is going to be a lot of running around and landing different places, which I'm not opposed to. That's actually, it sounds really cool, because we can check out a lot of different places, which is, obviously something we can never really do to any great degree in... Well, I say vanilla, but, vanilla plus all the other DLCs that weren't Odyssey. We need food before we go anywhere. I think that's a fantastic idea. I should probably also... Hopefully... All right. The next place, I got to figure out something in terms of research. Rob, again, great question from Event Guy. I see where you're going with that. How are you going to get any research done? Put a research thing in my space station, or my spaceship would be an idea. Because I think, later we can just, live in our spaceship. This is our base. I just haven't made anything out of it yet. Stench, are you going to be... Again, I need you up and running in under 7 days, 9 hours. 8 hours now. Okay, you lost a whole hour there. Lost a whole hour, Stench. Okay, 7 days, 8 hours. That's what you. And soon it's going to be 7 hours, man. You got to get up, even if it's to only go over here. Bertha, where are you going? Oh, you're hunting that rabbit. I mean, cool. Just the rabbit is really much farther away than it used to be. And don't go in the no bug zone. I can't afford to lose anyone else at this point. I'd like to. The next place I gotta. Okay, so here's how I'm starting to think. It's not about what we're doing here. It's what we're going to do the next one, and then the next one, and the next one. So I got a lot of good steel out of this. We did very, very well. Ooh, cargo pods. Could it be food? That'd be awesome. Is that right in the no bug zone? It's right in the no bug zone, isn't it? What are they? They're even fine meals. Is that the no bug zone? Let's just check the no bug zone, shall we? Expand. Yeah, they're just out of reach, but not for long. We can kind of sneak in there. Hey, kid, I'm going to send your 8-year-old tailed personage into getting those fine meals, because that is food. So we're basically building a flying base, is exactly right. That's the overall goal here. This is just a temporary shuttle kind of thing, but we want to make this bigger and bigger and bigger. So yes, a freezer in the base. Absolutely. And a kitchen. And I don't think we're going to be able to get away with individual bedrooms. We lost the boomalope meat. Dang it. Dang it. I don't think we're going to be able to get away with individual bedrooms. I think, certainly at the beginning, I'm going to have to go with the barracks. It's not my ideal. They hate it. But maybe I can make it a nice enough barracks that they won't hate it too much. What I really need them to focus on is literally finishing the spaceship. So whomever is supposed to be on construction needs to be on number 1. We're going to have to back burner food. We're just going to have to hope we can get food at another place. And in the meantime, maybe we can get some berries or something. You know what? The kid could do that. The kid could do some basic... you can, right? Yeah, you totally can. Why don't you be on that, kid? You're terrible at it, but you'll do it, and all you'll do is mess it up a lot. Oh, Stench, you're back. Great. Because I would love to take you with me, but, no promises. If you're on the other side of the map, that's a you problem, not a me problem. What I really need out of you, kid, is rebuilding the spaceship. So, Bertha, Stench to Hook, and soon to be Knife. Here's the gig. You have 6 days, 23 hours to finish this. Ideally, I'd like it done in about 6 days. If you could tighten that up to about 6 days, that'd be so super of you. I would love that. That would be fantastic. Good job, team. That is getting an attaboy. Let me tell you that right now. That is getting an attaboy. All right? But if it comes down to 6 days, 20 hours, because we're down to 21 hours now. It comes down to 20 hours. That's okay, too, but you need to hustle. There's a quest. Shelter for an ally. Do they mind being taken away on a spaceship? Is that a problem for them? The Exochrome Counselor. Wow, I want to be called an Exochrome Counselor. That sounds awesome. He wants you to host him at the landing site for 15 days. Yeah, bit of a hitch with that. So, great idea. Love Lincoln. I love what you're doing being the Exochrome Counselor. I definitely would have voted for you if I lived here. But I don't. I just landed here and then abducted a small child. So, again, good job with your exochroming there. Problem with the 15-day thing is we're not going to be here for 15 days. How do you feel about, say, 5 or 6 days here and then, a few days somewhere else? How would that go down? I'm not going to do this. I've got too much going on. And the rewards are actually not great. And I take the goodwill because everything else is not fantastic. Tornado generator not nearly as cool as it sounds like it should be. So if I took this, it's Joe. Joe's coming over. Lincoln's calling us, but Joe's coming. Who is paralyzed and would have to stay in bed. So that's food that he's going to suck up. He would suck up food anyway. But if we took off with him and left, is that okay, or have we in a strictly legal technical sense abducted him at that point? That is a very fun experiment to do later. That's a fun experiment to do not now when my ship is in pieces. And I will definitely do that experiment. I guarantee you if that ever pops up again, I will be the first one to take that quest, slap that guy in a bed, and then launch. and see what happens, because that sounds awesome. Okay, guys, we're down to 6 days, 20 hours. I really, really need my spaceship built. Like the spaceship that we came in on. I know it's barely a shuttle, but it's starting to look better if we get it done. We've got plenty of steel. That's all I need for the hull parts, and most of the floor is actually already done. I think it would actually not be free labor Buzzkill, because he's paralytic. He's just going to stay in bed. He wouldn't do anything. And even when they're not, they usually don't do any work. They just kind of hang out and mooch. Oh, a logger's passing by. Another potential candidate for becoming a new colony member, but I don't really have the time anymore. I don't think we can take time to pistol whip them and shove them into a prison. Oh, cool. Oh, that looks so neat. It really often is just the little things in RimWorld that cheer me up no end, and that looks awesome. Just a little diagonal. That's so cool. Prisoner Knight's resistance has been broken. Great. And we're almost done with the ship, and then I can put the pieces in here that are missing. Yeah, put that there and that there. Okay, that will make the ship, I mean, I guess technically usable. So no, there is no power in here because that lamp does not work. So I'm going to have to figure out power. You can just go ahead and deconstruct that. Don't sweat that. And then if you guys could get around to deconstructing this thing, that'd be like, oh, you can't get in there. Oh, that's why they're not doing it. They can't physically get in there. Cool. So deconstruct that. I'll figure out shelving later. Let's just get. We're on a time frame here. We're on a time frame. Yeah, you're right. They don't need to construct anything anymore. Cancel literally everything that we were doing. All of this can get canceled. So just cancel anything. Any plans I had. Cancel that. Except do deconstruct that because I just don't want you wasting wood. I might need wood in the next couple of days or so. Can we pack these up? Nope. All right. How about this? Nope. All right. Deconstruct it. We can get some materials out of that. What I'm going to do is have the kid probably just go like max hauling. Oh, knife's on board. Great. Good news. I have no drugs for you. I have no drugs at all. So we're on a time frame knife. So I'm going to have to be a little brusque with you and say, actually, you're not going to bother with hunting right now. We don't have anything to hunt. So you're actually going to be really good at research when we get somewhere where we're researching. But for nowsies, you can definitely do some construction. All right. In fact, you can be 2 on construction. We all do growing. We all do mining. We all do plant cutting. Can I put the kid in mining? Yeah, I can. Cool. Great. 8-year-old miner. Awesome. He's a miner. I think we've done that one before. In fact, I'm sure I've done that one before. So what was I going to do? Oh, you're going to be on like wicked hauling. Okay, let's make sure we get all our things in the spaceship. Bertha, actually, Stench, you're right here. Okay, yeah, do actually deconstruct that campfire. But then can you work on... Oh, did you already get it done? Wait, you can reach over the shelf? Why didn't you do that before? All right, take all of this out. And we are it's the shelf I've told you to deconstruct, right? Yes. Could we get that done, please? I would like you to deconstruct that, because I'd like to get in here so I can move some stuff around. And then, you know what? Actually, just deconstruct... No, don't. I'm change my mind. Move this against the wall. So move it like there. And then I could actually put another shelf right next to it. That'll free up some space. And then move this over here. And then I guess we'll just move the stool for now. I'll get him like a Captain Kirk kind of thing. You're right. The kid was -9 on mining. I'll put him at like 4. If he's got nothing else to do with his life, he can do that. But you're right. I'd temporarily forgotten that. I'm so overcome with genius that I forgot the kid literally can't mine genetically. So just be 4 on that. If you've got nothing else to do with your life, you can chip away at some mining. Maybe over the course of your entire life, you might gain a skill of 1. All right. Things need to get moved, but I think the spaceship can leave. It can go somewhere. So my best move now, the very best thing I can do, would be wicked focus on food production. So how about we This is all wood. And it'll take them no time to deconstruct this. Just deconstruct everything here, and we'll get enough wood that I can keep my campfires going and get some food made. We won't get those potatoes. Yeah, we're not going to get those. We'll get some more rice. And then let's also keep the murders going. We are actually technically supposed to be murdering things. They're probably in the no-bug zone. They're probably in the no-bug zone, and they're being very wily like that. Hang on. Deconstruct this thing so people don't go down there to get healed. Yeah, they're probably in the no-bug zone. Yep, the gazelles are in the no-bug zone. Fantastic. We did get those other meals, right? Yeah, we picked those up. So the best thing I can do now is just focus on food production. So when we get wherever it is we're going, with some mech to get nearby. Wasn't there some mech to get nearby? Oh, yeah, long-term, man. Yeah, long-term. That was one of those, like, yes, when you have way more colonists and they're way better armed and armored and that kind of thing, you should probably go do this thing. No, we're nowhere close to that. We got taken out by a bug. So, no, we're not even in that neighborhood. Knife, I see you've chosen to put that weird mask on. It makes you look super scary, dude. Like, super wicked scary. You're sad because you don't have drugs. You slept in the cold. Well, it's going to get a lot colder, dude. We're going into suborbit. All right, so cold schmold. We're going suborbital. I got 5 days. Do I think I could get a basic barracks put up? Do I need a basic barracks? Hang on. Do I really need a basic barracks? Because the answer is largely no. They can sleep on the floor. They'll hate it, but they can sleep on the floor. So my entire addition to this ship, like, oh, yeah, let's mess around with the ship, has been this. Which I guess is something. I kind of feel that's the way the game's going to go. It's like, okay, I built a little bit more of the ship, now I got to run away. Okay, I built a little bit more of the ship, now run away. Which is not a bad idea. I agree with Rob that the ticking clock, like, I want to be annoyed by that. I want to say, no, I'm going to stay here and I want to just make my colony, but we're not playing vanilla RimWorld. I can play vanilla RimWorld anytime I want. The same way that Anomaly made me rethink the way I play RimWorld, we're doing that again. So really, the good news is for you guys. The good news is on your side of the screen, because this will be an explosion of geniusosity. This is just going to be like duck, like get out of the way kind of thing. Hit the floor, because there's going to be so much genius coming out of this that it's dangerous. Like it could leave a mark or a bruise. That's what's going to happen here. Because that's what Anomaly did. Anomaly made me rethink the way I play RimWorld. And hopefully this is doing it. Well, this is doing exactly the same thing. I want to moan about the ticking clock, but weirdly I kind of like it because now I have to think, now what am I going to do when I get to the next bit? Because I got to hustle and do things and then like think about the next thing after that. So my move wherever we land is going to be unfortunately first off food. That's what I should have done here. We should have just been completely 100% focused on food production and nothing else. So we'd have a ton of food the next time we land. Because now I'm going to have to start with food again. So I'm going to be a little behind. This is how I'm like rewiring my RimWorld brain even as I'm speaking to you. It's quite phenomenal. And a little ouchy. I'm not going to lie. It's a little ouchy. But I am rewiring my RimWorld brain. It's like I literally have my hands inside my skull and with like a pair of pliers, but not like the big pliers, not like linesman's pliers, although that would be appropriate for electrical work. But those like teeny tiny little needle nose pliers, and I'm actually rewiring my brain right now with my hands in my skull while I'm talking to you about how to do this now. So I've lost a little bit of time because I should have focused 100% on food production when I walked in the door. Then, if I had, when we landed the next place, I wouldn't have to focus as much on food production. I'd have a surplus. And I could focus on something else, like, say, materials accumulation, like getting more steel. Although we did do very well with steel. We got a lot out of that vein. I noticed they've actually blown that off, and I will contribute to that by saying don't bother mining that. We've got other priorities here. So maybe the next one is more like materials production and maybe beginning research. Maybe the next part of the ship that we put together is the lab. Because, of course, we've got different rooms to deal with now. So we want to really, as best as possible, make the rooms as what they should be with all the right elements in them so we get the maximum bonus. I know we don't talk about efficiency here because I'm not, but that is kind of something we should look at, is like the lab and the, like, I forget what it's called, but wherever you put production things, that kind of thing. Hang on. There we go. So get back to work. I can work while I talk. I can't. That's not true. So I kind of get it. The ticking clock is like I have to think about not what I'm doing now, but what I'm going to need to do later and how I need to prepare for that now. Yeah, see, this will be a ton of wood that we can use to fuel the campfire. No, don't fuel that. Just deconstruct this nonsense. I just burn it all down. We're literally leaving. Okay, so, and there's 50 more steel right there and a component. Are you packing up the beds and taking them, saves rebuilding them? We could. Yeah, there's no particular reason we can't do that. Uninstall. I mean, I've got 2 decent beds here. So, and then the double bed. If I won't be able to, there's nowhere I'm going to be able to put them inside the ship. Although I say that, I actually got a degree of room in there. Lisa, welcome. Did you miss anything? Yeah, lots of things. We're out, Lisa. The mechs have found us, and we got to get out of here. So we have to leave, like, sooner rather than later. So I've managed to... Knife, bad time for a sad wander, kid. You better be less sad in 5 days, 7 hours. Yeah, you know what? Okay, got it. Next thing I need is a fridge. So, yes, food production, but I need to be able to preserve it on the ship. What is the temperature in here, by the way? 70, yeah, it's 80 degrees in the ship. So what I could do is maybe duplicate this here, and that could be a freezer area. Food preservation. Okay. This is very exciting. I'm very excited. I'm rewiring my brain even as I'm speaking to you. 2 pairs of needle nose pliers. I'm going in there double-fisted, just carving bits of my skull out and rewiring them in different patterns. This is, so next landing, focus on freezer. Focus on a freezer and, well, okay, there's an eclipse. We'll cope with that. Knife, you better get wicked happy in 5 days and 4 hours, kid. Wicked happy. 5 days, 4 hours, kid. Wicked happy. Let me also expand the storage area so they have places to put these things. And that, I could make another shelf, but we're not going to prioritize that right now. We'll just kind of back burner that idea. I just want to make sure they just get everything in the ship right now. So what I didn't need to do was really move these tanks. That was largely unnecessary. That was just for really messing around with it more than anything. This could have been a more functional room, and I could have left the tanks in there. But you know what? It's done. I've done it. Bertha's pregnant? Are you serious? Do I look like I have time for a pregnancy right now? Are you kidding me, RimWorld? Do you know how much I'm going to have to shove pliers into my skull to rewire this one? Really? Bertha? Stench? It's been like 3 days since you were lovers. Okay. Alright. Fine. Well, brand new colonist on the way. Useless colonist. Brand new... I need a nursery now. Space baby incoming indeed. Now I need to... Okay. I need a freezer and now a nursery. I gotta have a crib. We're gonna have to make baby food. That's definitely gonna happen. I did not actually queue anything up in here. That's why we're not making food. I didn't actually tell them to make any food. Yeah, now baby food. We're gonna need that. So just do it forever. You know, just make meals forever. All right, make meals time. I did say times 4, right? So we do this in bulk. Yes. Okay. Just make meals forever. Whatever food you got, just make food out of it. Spikle Girl, we're nowhere near baby tube. Hey, look, no one wants a baby tube more than me. First thing I do with a baby, shove them in a tube. Shove them in a tube. But we're nowhere near that. That is so far down the things that we need down here. It's like way, way down in research. We're not getting that any time in the near future. That could be game years off at this point. It's very green out. Is that the eclipse, or are we getting a toxic cloud? This is going great. The hills, welcome. Yeah, no, I see where you're going with that, Bresme. Like, hey, Dave, you don't have a baby tube. Why not just throw them in the freezer and preserve them for later? Great idea. Great idea. You'd think that would work. But I think all we get there is a less than alive baby. Yep. The research tree is a little bigger because there's more stuff in it. And we found a few new things today. Not all of them, but, you know, like lasers. We found lasers in here. So we haven't really picked apart everything. But what I'd like to do... Okay. So, okay, I got it, Bertha. Thanks. Thanks. Wicked awesome, kid. That's just fantastic that you're pregnant. So when we land in the next place, we have one meal. I gotta get... What? Hang on. We've rejected the proposal, but the marriage is on. Are you guys going to fight all the time? Are you going to be one of them fighty couples? So what happened there is, I assume, Bertha's like, Stench, here's the thing, I am pregnant. And Stench is like, whoops, I will marry you because that's the responsible thing to do for the child. And Bertha's like, no, dude, I am a strong, independent woman. I'm basically captain of a spaceship. I don't need no man around here. I will raise this child myself. And Stench is like, yeah, but we both live in the same spaceship. And also for legal reasons, I'd like to, you know, protect my child and stuff. And Bertha's like, okay. I think that's how that entire conversation went down. So the proposal was rejected, but then accepted. Stench, can we get a breakdown on that, please? Can we see the action replay of that? So you talked to Bertha about sweet food, and Bertha told a joke about vomiting. Wow, the romance never ends. Stench proposed marriage to Bertha. Bertha rejected it. And then Bertha said, you know what? That was actually a pretty good idea. Why don't you marry me? And Stench said yes. Okay, so Stench proposed to Bertha and got a no. And then Bertha proposed to Stench and got a yes. Got it. All right. Neat. So let's get back to when we land, because that's obviously, you know, going to be the focus of what we do tomorrow. When we land, freezer, food preservation, and then maybe we think about the beginning concept of research. Because Knife's pretty good at that, and he's not very good at anything else. Knife might just get chained to a research table for a while. They have brought a few of those beds in, and yeah, they've done some basic deconstruction there. Again, who is on number one cooking? That is Stench. Not great at it, but he's doing it. Because right now we have zero food. Zero prepared food, anyway. Parcel simulator. Is that the one where it's just like the assembly lines and you check packages? Oh, that's a hard no, the Hills. That's 100% a hard no. I watched Cans play that, Cansalone play that, and that's just like, no, that's just like that. All that is logistics. And as we have previously discussed, in the real world, I'm actually exceptionally good at logistics. In games, I don't want to take my real life into a game. Like, I can't do logistics in a game. That's just a factory game. That's for people who like the factory games. Like, get A to B, and then B to C, and then C to D. But yeah, that's the one where it's just like, you know, conveyor belts and packages going through them. No, I checked that out. I watched Cans play that for about an hour, and 1 minute in, I'm like, hard pass on that one. That is just not a game that I want to play. I was much more interested in the X-ray simulator. That was way more fun. That's a little more geared towards me. So aware of it. That I will not do. That's one, like, even if I got a key for that, I wouldn't even give it a try. That would just make me bang my head against a wall, and not in a fun way where you're like, oh yeah, totally do a video of that and you'll bang your head against a wall and hate it. It wouldn't even be fun. I'd just be like, God, this sucks. I don't like this kind of game at all. There's one coming out. I think it's on Monday. That looked like it was going to be like a 2-point hospital kind of thing, but an office setting. I think it's called like Boss Life or Boss Power or something. I don't know. It'll be out on Monday. I do a lot of videos. I don't even know what's going on my own channel anymore. But and it turns out to be more of a puzzle game, which I don't like. It's effectively a puzzle game, and I'm like, not so much with that. I resent this shift to first-person simulator games. I can't play them; they make me sick. They sometimes make me sick too. There's some that I can't play for long periods of time. That water park one was bordering on that. But it was I could get through enough of it to make it funny and then make it go away. So yeah, no, they do. It's not a shift, actually, Rob. I've been doing this for years. You're not new here. I've been doing these first-person simulator games for years. I can generally make them funny. And that's what I try to do. I was going to say it's what I do. It's what I try to do, is make this stuff funny. So, the simulator games are kind of made for that. All right, where are we at? And what's my time frame? 4 days, 2 hours. Okay, I would like to leave sooner than that. If we could, everybody's just kind of camping out here. I'm actually going to have to start doing math to figure out how much of a bigger ship I can make. Because I can't manufacture this gravlite panel. All right, I don't have the materials for it, and I don't have the research for it. And we're not going to an orbital asteroid right now. Where did I pick up 25 marble blocks? Must have got those from somewhere, I guess. Puzzle games, I'm so bad, they just make me mad. Yeah, like, puzzle games, I know people love them. I get why people love them. I'm not saying they're bad games. They're great games if you like puzzle games. I don't. Because puzzle games, I'm like, why did I need to show up for this? Just put it the right way. Whatever it is. Just put it the right way. Why did I need to have a say in this at all? Hang on. And the one that's coming out Monday is very similar to that. What is it? Mad Games Tycoon or something like that, where you're in charge of a video game development company, but all you really do is match the sliders to the correct place. Who's down? Bertha, why are you down? Is that because you're pregnant? Yeah, you're pregnant. Oh, you have food poisoning. You know what? You're down, but you're in the ship. That's close enough. In fact, is everybody in the ship? No, Knife's over here in the sleeping spot. Knife, just for giggles, how about we all live in the ship? How about that? That's a thing. Like, we all... I know there's no beds in there. Yeah, the kid drew all over the floor. The kid just drew everywhere. I could put up a couple of these beds. I only need 3. I mean, one of them's got to be a double bed, though. Oh, there's the auto pistol that Bertha dropped very unceremoniously there. Shadows of Doubt is great, but it's more detective-style puzzles. Yeah, I don't do puzzle games. Again, it's no complaint against them. If you like puzzle games, go play puzzle games. I just don't like puzzle games. I guess, like, why did I show up? If all I had to do was Google where to move the sliders to make the perfect game in that Mad Games Tycoon thing, and the one coming out Monday is very, very similar. It's almost identical, actually. Then why did I need to show up? We'll just put them there, and then it's sort of just clicking. It becomes a clicker game to me. There's no creativity in it. That's my problem with puzzle games. There's zero creativity for me. I just need to have the right answer. There's no RimWorld. Okay, yes, she's down. She's pregnant and sick on, like, multiple levels. Morning sickness and, like, I am sick because nobody can cook any good food around here. So how about we actually put something like a sleeping spot up? Because this is probably going to keep happening to Bertha. You know what? Put a bunch up. All right. And one of those could be a medical bed. DeHook, can you carry carefully Bertha to that area, please? Thank you. No. Don't take her outside. Nope. No need of this. No. Okay. You know what? That's not medical. Okay, it's not medical. It's nothing. Come here, DeHook. Drop the pregnant lady. Just drop her on the ground. Thank you. Pick her up again. DeHook, come here. Pick her up again, and then rescue her. Okay, much better. Thank you, DeHook. You can be undrafted. Thank you. Hollywood Animal has been a lot of fun. I didn't really enjoy that because it was just all reading things. So I'm sure it's actually probably awesome. And maybe if I were playing it in my own time, which I won't, it might be awesome. But in terms of the channel, it was just reading things at people, which is not what I wanted. I don't think that's my strength. So we've said from day one, I can dislike a game and you can like a game, and we're both right. We're both correct. Those are both correct things. I can like something, you can dislike something. We're both absolutely correct about both of those ideas. But Hollywood Animal was okay for what I played of it anyway. I think I only played the demo. But I wasn't going to go back to it. I looked at this and I'm probably not going to go back to this. You need a cooking place in your spaceship. Yes, that's certainly a thing we could do. So Mel, before we started, not before we started, but when we were choosing colonists, I don't know if you're here for that. And by we I mean me. because you guys didn't do it. It was really a monologue, less of a dialogue. But we were choosing colonists. I deliberately, consciously refused a pyromaniac. Because I said to myself, now, Dave, you're no spaceologist. You're no NASA scientist. You're no rocket science. We all know that. You might be a genius. In fact, you are a genius. Hashtag geniusosity. You are definitely a genius. But you are no spaceologist. But I believe, with every fiber of my building, of my being rather, that unlike what Rob is saying, if I build a fire inside the middle of an enclosed, sealed environment, I feel that's bad. That's why we refused the pyromaniac. I said, there's somebody who's going to start a fire in a sealed, enclosed environment for which there is no air transfer. Okay, there are no vents here, unfortunately, Rob. We may work on vents at some point, and I know you'll be very active in that. But there are no vents here. So I'm going to go ahead and say, if I put a campfire in here, everybody dies of, smoke inhalation, hot room, or, whatever, burning room, burning air. I got to figure that's a thing. Now, we may experiment with it, but my goal for the next time we land is I'm really going to have to start from scratch with food production. And that will include a freezer and some basic concept of a kitchen. I'd like to land on an area that has more wood so we can maybe get a fueled stove going. And I can renegotiate a lot of this storage to make space for that. So I could move these shelves around to these walls. They don't need to be in the middle, in the back here. And then put the stove down here, maybe even a small table for people. All of those things can happen. And then a freezer, a small one, admittedly. Because, again, I'm going to have to actually do some real math and figure out how many panels I can make. 331 things. Actually, you don't need that much math. You can make 331 of them because it's one Gravlite thing per panel. However, you're going to have to calculate how much you are making so you don't go over your limit there. Have we figured out power on the ship yet? Well, we have figured out that the ship itself is not powered. So we put up a lamp. It don't work. So I can only imagine we're going to need to have some sort of actual generator. Chem fuel would probably be the smartest choice, seeing as we've got a bunch of it anyway. So a chem fuel generator will keep anything I need going comfortably well. The only thing that's going to suck up a lot of power would be the freezer. And then, if I then vent that outside, is that not a hole in space? Not necessarily, that's kind of a hole in space, right? Like, okay. Let's say for argument's sake I have a spaceship. Slam it into pause mode because I'm going to wrap up soon. Let's say for argument's sake I have a spaceship. Okay? But it's wicked hot in the spaceship. I'm like, wow, it is really hot in here. I cannot sleep in the spaceship. It's so hot. I'm going to put an air conditioning in. And because we have air conditioners in our house, it invariably involves, in some format or other, punching a hole in a wall. Whether that be actually punching a hole in a wall or opening a window or something along those lines. How that in the cold, heartless vacuum of space doesn't do much. We were messing around with the glowy thing, and we may experiment with power lines before, but the lamp was right here. So under normal circumstances, that should have auto-connected. It was not far enough away, so this does not seem to auto-generate power. Time permitting, I may mess around with this tonight. I probably won't because it's not really time permitting. I actually have a lot to do. The second I leave the stream, I have a ton of things to do. But we'll mess around with that later. So let's stay focused here. Focused, okay? We're leaving momentarily because the mechs are going to be here in a couple of days. We have a quantity of food that we put together, but really I'm rewiring my brain as we're doing this. So we land. We start on food production and building a kitchen freezer area. And then, eventually the mechs will come again. If we've got time, we'll focus more on materials gathering, especially steel. I'm going to need a lot of steel for this game. A lot. And then, time permitting, we can start to look at some kind of barracks. Some kind of barracks where I can just set up a bunch of beds. And then I'm going to restructure the storage for a little bit. And then think about maybe tailoring and stone cutting, but that may be a long way off. We may not have time to do that. All right, guys, I am going to check out there because I've been doing this for 3.5 hours now, and that's a lot. And I do actually have a ton of other things to do today. So I've got things, real life things that have got to get done, and I've got to get on with it. But we'll be back tomorrow with this. We'll jump, and it'll be the normal time tomorrow. I'm not starting early because I got to work tomorrow. So normal time tomorrow, and we'll just keep rolling with Bertha and Stench and DeHook and Knife here and see how this all goes. I'm very excited about this. And in the same way that I was like, with Anomaly, I have to rethink the way I'm playing this, I am rethinking the way I'm playing this, and that is very, very exciting, even if it's hard-ish anyway. All right, guys, I'm going to check out here. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so very, very much, not only for watching this, but also watching kind of an extended stream that we did here today. I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye, and goodbye.